She thought it was just a joke, a way to impress a room full of investors. But when the janitor sat down at that piano, the first notes left her and the entire building frozen in shock. What started as a viral moment quickly turned into something far bigger and far more dangerous. Because behind the music was a hidden history, one the company's board would do anything to erase. Now, with jobs on the line, reputations at stake, and a community center hanging by a thread, an impossible challenge stands between them and saving everything they love. Can one performance save an entire community, or will it cost them everything? Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today. A cold Monday morning in the marble lobby of Riverfront Tower. The smell of polished stone and fresh coffee lingers as Isaiah Zay Carver wipes dust from the gleaming grand piano. Its black surface shines like water, reflecting the glow of chandeliers overhead. Zay's hands tremble, a reminder of arthritis that has stiffened his fingers. He brushes off his worries, ready to serve the office workers and visiting clients. Evelyn Cho strides past him in a tailored navy suit. Her heels click against the marble floor as she's flanked by investors, their eyes darting around the luxury of Riverfront Tower. They chatter about figures and profits, but Evelyn is focused on securing crucial funding for a project. Tension fills the air as they approach the piano. Nervousness creeps in, and to lighten the mood, she tosses out a teasing dare. "If you can play Rachmaninoff, I'll marry you." Laughter follows her playful remark, but as she flashes her confident smile, her eyes meet Zay's. The humor lingers awkwardly between them. Zay hesitates, heart racing at the thought of playing again, a task he hasn't tackled since arthritis forced him off stage. But he recalls how music has always been his refuge, bringing joy amidst loss. With a deep breath, he takes a seat at the worn bench in front of the piano. He flexes his fingers. They ache but respond to the call of music that has lingered within him. Curiosity spreads through the crowd. "Let's see what you've got," one investor nudges playfully. Zay plays softly at first, just the opening bars of Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor. The hesitant notes fill the air, spilling forth emotions like sunlight breaking through clouds after a storm. The rich sound swirls among the marble lobby, echoing off art and glass, a vibrant tapestry of sound. Zay loses himself in the notes. Each key pressed becomes an extension of his heart, a conversation with cherished memories. As his confidence grows, strength flows into his fingers, despite their frailty. The music becomes bolder and resonates beneath the grand glass ceiling, casting shadows on awed faces. Evelyn stands frozen, engrossed in Zay's performance. For this moment, she forgets deadlines and board meetings. All that exists is the haunting melody. The crowd is entranced, conversation stopping mid-sentence as people pull out their phones to capture the unexpected spectacle. There's something raw about Zay's performance, the way it tugs at their hearts, reminding them of what matters beyond profits or quarterly reports. Zay plays on, memories flooding back, the sound of laughter from family gatherings where music set the rhythm of life, and joyful church services filled with hymns, times when dreams thrived instead of laying buried. Reaching an emotional climax near the piece's end, Zay pours everything into the last notes, grief intertwined with hope, love braided into longing, a powerful release until silence blankets them. When Zay finishes, no immediate applause meets him. Instead, a heavy stillness blankets Riverfront Tower as if time has paused. Evelyn swallows hard against rising emotions, knowing she must break the silence. Finally, someone begins to clap, sparking a ripple of applause, smiles breaking across somber faces, an awakening fueled by raw artistry unveiled unexpectedly. Zay lifts his head, scanning the gathered crowd's belief and joy, painting their expressions brightly, or perhaps inspiration among weary souls who had forgotten how music can unite. "Thank you," Evelyn calls out, her voice igniting laughter in the marble halls. Once again, a recognition flows between her and Zay, connected through vulnerability laid bare moments earlier. "Wow." One investor breathes after the quiet settles, awestruck expressions lining faces nearby, who had rushed past moments before, touched by something divine that unites them all. "Maybe we should do this more often?" Evelyn suggests half-jokingly as the audience dissipates, thoughts flowing freely, igniting renewed passion and sparking wonder. Taking risks leads them to uncover layers bravely. They share breaths, pooling wisdom, strengthening courage and lifting one another. They remind each other of their greater purpose, serving tirelessly and nurturing compassion. A wave passes over Zay, bathing him in tender light, pulling gently in warm embrace, bridging gaps forgotten and tracing steps backward, fostering belief in transformation and unity. Evelyn holds on to those fleeting seconds, spinning endlessly, enveloped in harmony and peace, allowing grace to infuse tales of resplendent glories. She realizes that beauty transcends barriers, revealing triumph over trials that can evolve through connection. Zay feels warmth spreading across his chest not just from the applause, but also from understanding that goes beyond admiration, uniting them through shared experiences. The echoes of music and the moments of vulnerability intertwine their journeys. Together, they remember the importance of connection, strive for deeper understanding, and celebrate the beauty found in unity. Through their shared encounter with artistry, they reclaim power and gratitude, nurturing connections and lifting spirits which brings forth the light of hope into their lives. Zay leaned against his broom in the quiet hallway of Riverfront Tower, ready to move on after cleaning an office when Marjorie Lane burst in, her excitement palpable. "Zay, you're famous!" she exclaimed, holding her phone up. Zay blinked, confused. "Famous? Me?" "Yes. That video you played in the lobby? It's gone viral." Marjorie scrolled through her phone and showed him the clip of him playing Rachmaninoff on the grand piano, titled Rachmaninoff Janitor. His heart raced at the comments flooding in, filled with admiration and nostalgia. "Wow," Zay murmured, disbelief and pride swelling within him. Marjorie nudged him playfully. "Look at these. People are sharing memories your music stirred." "Memories?" Zay repeated, captivated. "Here's one. This reminds me of my late husband playing piano Sundays." And another, "I took lessons from Mrs. Carver." She read each comment with growing excitement. As Marjorie spoke, warmth spread within Zay, reminding him of his mother beside him at the piano during his childhood. Chuckling softly, he said, "I didn't think anyone noticed me." "Please, the piano is the heart of our community," Marjorie replied, mock seriousness in her tone. Zay glanced down at his scuffed boots, reminded of his unremarkable role as a janitor. "But what does this mean?" he asked, the weight of uncertainty creeping in. "It means you have something special to share," Marjorie replied, continuing to scroll through comments. A flicker of hope mixed with uncertainty stirred within Zay. Perhaps life could offer more than cleaning floors. What if he played again? Yet, doubt quickly returned. Years of suppressed dreams whispered fears of failure. Marjorie's excitement broke through his thoughts as she read another appreciative message. Feeling restless after the praises, Zay remembered he had left cleaning supplies unattended. He bid farewell, promising to think about it and return to work. As he moved through the quiet hallways, memories of melodies and the hope they brought lingered in his mind. He paused by the janitor closet, a moment of openness unfolding. Inside, the muted light cast a glow on familiar items, evoking memories of lives touched and courage found through shared experiences. Zay closed the door behind him and sat on a cluttered stool, feeling the weight of time urging him to stretch and reclaim lost moments. He pulled out his phone and replayed the video, tears glistening as he soaked in the messages, awakening a spirit he thought lost. Replaying the video again and again, Zay embraced a newfound determination to reclaim his music, hopeful for a brighter future where he could flourish in the harmony of community and shared joy. The next morning, tension filled the executive boardroom. A polished mahogany table gleamed under harsh fluorescent lights, and the walls displayed impressive accolades and photos of past leaders, each telling a story of authority. Today, however, a different narrative haunted Riverfront Tower. CFO Ruben Patel sat at the head of the table, cool and calculating. He glanced at the gathered executives, causing Evelyn Cho, seated beside him, to feel a tightness in her chest. Ruben adjusted his glasses and began reading from a memo. "As you all know," he said smoothly, "the recent viral video featuring our janitor has raised concerns about our brand image." His voice exuded professionalism laced with disdain. "What concerns?" Evelyn asked, trying to sound composed. The board feels we need to streamline staff and focus on efficiency, Rubin stated matter-of-factly. Older hourly employees are now viewed as non-essential. He flipped to another page. We're looking into replacing them with contractors. Evelyn's mind raced. You can't be serious. These people have been loyal for years. They are part of our community. Loyalty doesn't pay the bills, Rubin replied curtly, his gaze scanning the table for support. The other executives nodded hesitantly, but remained silent. Anger surged within Evelyn as she thought of such dedicated workers who rarely received respect. Rubin, we have a responsibility to our employees. We can't treat them like numbers. Responsibility is why we must act, Rubin countered, leaning back as if anticipating resistance. The public's perception matters. If we don't adjust now. There was an ominous silence. Images of Zay playing the piano swirled in Evelyn's mind, reminders of the artistry that mattered far more than financial projections. The lobby piano, Rubin continued, cutting through her thoughts, is labeled non-essential decor and is slated for removal. Evelyn's breath caught. Losing that vibrant staple felt like ripping away a piece of the building's soul. But it brings people together, she protested, searching for support around the table. One executive shifted uncomfortably. Another tried to make eye contact with Rubin, aligning with him rather than her. It doesn't matter if it brings people together if it doesn't make us money, Rubin said flatly. Evelyn felt despair. Why couldn't they see the importance of connection? She recalled Zay's warm smile against their talk of cuts of lights snuffed out too soon. This isn't just about numbers, she insisted, passion igniting her voice. We owe it to every worker to uphold dignity. Dignity doesn't save companies from losing investors, Rubin replied coldly. Before Evelyn could respond, a gentle voice broke through Marjorie Lane, standing just outside the doorframe. I think we need to remember why we're here, Marjorie said earnestly. The employees keep us running smoothly. They deserve respect. We shouldn't dismiss them easily. Rubin glared at Marjorie but paused, discomfort flashing across his face. Before he could respond, an awkward silence settled in the room, tension palpable. Marjorie steadied herself, declaring, We can work together without sacrificing compassion. A pause followed, their thoughts hanging in the air like shimmering stars. But soon enough, another executive cleared his throat, restoring corporate order. The meeting dragged on, discussions about efficiency stifling any hope left in weary hearts. The atmosphere turned heavy, as tensions simmered beneath the calm facade. As the meeting continued, Evelyn felt her spirit dimming against the cold calculations around her. She imagined Zay lost to this heartless talk of joy, extinguished before it could thrive. Finally, awakening from her disillusionment, she saw Zay vacuuming the floors, embodying dignity in his everyday duties. He preserved a sense of community through simple acts of service that expressed gratitude and respect, vital to the company's essence. Caught in a swirl of emotions, Evelyn resolved to fight not just for the piano or the janitors, but to reclaim the heart of their workplace, an unwavering spirit shared amongst colleagues 7 amidst the looming negativity. Evelyn sat at her desk, the city's hum blending with her racing thoughts. The sun cast a warm glow on her organized workspace, but the chaos from the boardroom lingered like a dark cloud. A flicker of hope had emerged when Zay played Rachmaninoff, but now it was fading. She hesitated before dialing Zay's number, uncertain if he wanted to talk after everything. She needed to act, and Zay was her best chance. Hello? His voice was warm yet cautious. Zay, it's Evelyn, she said, keeping her tone light despite their situation. Can you come to my office? We need to talk. Sure, he replied. I'll be there in a minute. As she hung up, anxiety mixed with determination. Zay deserved better than what was planned for him and the other employees at Riverfront Tower. If they could rally support for the Carver Community Arts Center, perhaps they could create something beautiful. A few minutes later, Zay appeared, his janitor's uniform contrasting the hallway's harsh fluorescent lights. He wore an expression of curiosity and wariness. Good morning, he said softly as he entered. Thanks for coming, Evelyn replied, gesturing to a chair. As he sat, she noticed how tired he looked, his hands resting on his knees, once so adept at playing piano, now marked by the years spent cleaning. I wanted to discuss something important, she began, gathering her thoughts. I've been thinking about supporting the Carver Community Arts Center. Zay raised an eyebrow, urging her to continue. Your mother co-founded it, right? It holds significant meaning for you and your community. She admired his strong family connection. It does, he replied slowly. But with everything at Riverfront Tower, I don't know if anyone will care. I think they will, she insisted. What if we held a fundraiser? A gala of second chances? We could invite the community to a true celebration of music and art. Zay considered her words. That sounds nice, but how would we make it happen? We need funds for food and decorations and layoffs are coming. I know it's a challenge, Evelyn admitted, but we can make this work. With good promotion on social media, we can raise money for the center. Zay watched her, sensing both her determination and vulnerability. Her passion inspired him, even if it felt like a long shot. But first, she continued, meeting his eyes, you have to headline the gala. Me? Headline? Zay was surprised, excitement and terror rushing through him. Yes, Evelyn exclaimed. You must perform Rachmaninoff. Your music is powerful. What if I can't do it? Doubt crept in, memories of neglecting his music surfacing. Zay, she said softly, leaning forward. You can do this. Your talent is extraordinary. Don't let fear hold you back. Emotions swirled within him, a mix of hope and uncertainty. I'm honored you believe in me. Evelyn smiled, relief washing over her as they moved forward together. However, a nagging thought intruded. The board would likely place harsh conditions on their support for community renewal. The board will only approve if we sell out the tickets, she said carefully. Zay frowned, unease settling in. Sell out? Haven't I struggled to stay afloat? Yes, Evelyn affirmed. We'll get people excited. We can do this. But what if they don't come? He asked quietly, panic bubbling within him. If you perform Rachmaninoff, people will come. Her enthusiasm poured out, emphasizing the joy in the music. Silence enveloped them momentarily, the heaviness of unspoken words hanging between them. Finally Zay spoke, more assured this time. All right then. If I'm headlining, I'll need time to practice. Relief flooded through Evelyn. Trust blossomed between them as unlikely allies. Yes, she clapped, her excitement brightening the dreary office. They shared a moment, forging bonds despite lingering fears. Yet, reality intruded again. Hidden truths bubbled beneath polished surfaces, and silence enveloped them before laughter broke through, releasing tension built over years. We'll make this happen together, she said firmly, shaking his hand in agreement. Zay grasped her hand tightly, warmth radiating through the chill of the office, and they acknowledged the burdens they each carried, hidden just beneath the surface. And I promise, Zay's voice trailed off, the sincerity building around his promise. As anticipation filled the air, they sensed unseen burdens lingering, a reminder that uncertainties lay ahead. Together, they affirmed their commitment, weaving their aspirations into brighter tomorrows, awakening possibilities for remarkable journeys ahead. The sun set, casting golden light through Riverfront Tower's glass walls. Inside, the marble lobby was quiet, the day's bustle replaced by distant traffic and a soft breeze. Zay and Evelyn stood by the grand piano, their hearts filled with anticipation. Evelyn traced the piano's smooth surface. This is where it all began for you, huh? She asked, eyes full of curiosity. Zay smiled, eyes sparkling with memories. Yeah, I spent countless hours here, playing while my mom cleaned nearby. I was supposed to practice for church, but I got lost in what came to mind. Like what? Evelyn leaned in, intrigued. Anything that felt right, he recalled. A mix of Rachmaninoff and gospel. Music has always been about feeling. Evelyn nodded. My mother worked hard for my piano lessons too. She cleaned houses just so I could learn. Her voice thickened with emotion as she remembered. She must have been proud, Zay encouraged. She was, Evelyn said, a bittersweet smile forming. But I lost my way. I chased a dream of power suits and boardrooms. Sometimes we think we must choose between dreams and life's demands, Zay whispered. I know, she replied wistfully. But your playing brings back good memories, reminds me of who I wanted to be. She took a deep breath, shaking off her earlier vulnerability. "Let's make music together," Zay suggested. "Show me what you remember." Evelyn laughed, finding comfort back at the keys. As she played Chopin's Nocturne, Zay listened, nodding along. "That's lovely," he praised after a few bars. Evelyn blushed. "It's been ages." "Then let's explore," Zay urged, excitement in his eyes. Evelyn grinned and added more dynamics, creating a delicate melody. "That's it. Now add a flourish," Zay prompted eagerly. They settled into a rhythm, intertwining their music and laughter, Zay showcasing riffs tucked away for years. "I wish you could hear how it sounds in my head," he exclaimed after a spirited flourish, their laughter echoing. "It sounded amazing," Evelyn clapped joyfully. "Tell me about your early days in church," she asked, emotions flowing freely now. "My mom sang while I played," Zay reminisced. Her voice filled the air, even reaching folks outside. Those were beautiful moments. Evelyn leaned closer, captivated. "What songs did you play?" "Amazing Grace was a favorite," he smiled, recalling familiar rhythms that invited love and connection amid adversity. "I love that song," she exclaimed, celebrating their shared artistry. As the lobby dimmed, a cleaning crew approached, shadows stretching as night enveloped them. They basked in the joy of music and the solace it brought, their laughter melding into harmonies that transcended everyday worries. Time slipped away as they created a bond, weaving their histories into a shared melody that celebrated resilience and unity. The cool night air enveloped Zay Carver as he approached Riverfront Tower, excitement and nerves coursing through him. His invigorating practice session with Evelyn made him hopeful for the gala. Despite the ache in his arthritic hands, he yearned to play the piano. A connection to Evelyn. At the entrance, Zay noticed a younger security guard in a too-crisp uniform, radiating authority. Taking a breath, Zay prepared to state his purpose. "Evening," he smiled. The guard's expression remained cold. "Access after hours is restricted," he replied flatly. Zay's smile faltered, confusion flooding him. "I'm here to practice with Miss Cho. We're working on pieces for the gala." The guard shook his head. "I don't care. Company policy." A tight knot formed in Zay's stomach. It wasn't just the music, it was proving he still mattered. He opened his mouth to protest, but hesitated. "Look, I've been coming here for weeks," Zay said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I understand," the guard replied, crossing his arms. "But rules are rules." Just then, Zay saw Evelyn approaching, her heels echoing on the marble floor. She looked confident in her tailored suit, though her brow furrowed slightly upon seeing Zay's concern. "Is there a problem here?" she asked, her authoritative tone softening just for him. "This man isn't authorized for after-hours access," the guard stated, not even glancing at her. Evelyn narrowed her eyes and stepped closer to Zay. "He has my permission," she asserted firmly. The guard hesitated but shook his head again. "I'm just following orders." Evelyn inhaled deeply, frustration clear on her face. "Let me handle this," she reassured Zay with a hand on his arm. "Go inside. I'll talk to him." Zay nodded, a mix of gratitude and frustration churning within him as he watched her speak with the guard just beyond earshot. Minutes felt like hours as Zay stood near the door, anxiety prickling his skin. What if they didn't let him in? What if all this effort crashed down? Finally, Evelyn returned, her expression relaxed. "You're all set," she said, her smile radiating warmth. "Thank you," Zay breathed, relief washing over him as he stepped back into the lobby. As they walked toward the piano, Evelyn looked thoughtfully at him. "I'm sorry about that. Security has gotten stricter." Zay struggled to shake off the earlier incident, feeling shaken by being denied entry, as if he didn't belong. "Just be careful next time," she advised gently as they took their seats on the piano bench. "Yeah." He managed a weak smile, his spirit still heavy. They began to play, the music flowing, yet each note echoed with Zay's creeping doubt, overshadowing their joyful practice and pulling him into shadows of uncertainty. Time melted away until the lobby lights dimmed softly around them, illuminating joyful faces intertwined with lingering doubts. "I think we should wrap up for tonight," Evelyn suggested after one last chord resonated in the air thick with hopes and dreams. All right. Zay sighed. Knowing she was right, they couldn't push themselves too hard before the gala. As they stood, Zay noticed the new guard standing stiffly by the entrance again, an unsettling chill rushing through him. After swiftly gathering their things without exchanging another word, they exited into the fresh night air, leaving behind the shadows inside. An inner voice gnawed at him. What if this kept happening? What if tomorrow brought even more hurdles? Outside, stars twinkled in the darkening sky as Zay waved goodbye to Evelyn, watching her walk to her car. He took one last look back at the tower, its shining windows, a beacon of hope amidst his chaos. Once home, surrounded by reminders of past lives, he discovered a broken silence interrupted by the ringing phone. "Hey, Daddy," Tasha greeted, her skepticism clear as she prepared for their difficult conversation. "Honey," Zay exclaimed, wishing to uplift her spirit amidst the dark clouds of their lives. "How are you?" Tasha asked, her tone probing yet cautious. "I'm good," Zay insisted, forcing enthusiasm but aware it might sound brittle. "That's great, but—" Tasha's sharp shift signaled the need to address underlying tensions they both felt. Zay sensed the shift, recognizing the delicate balancing act between honesty and protecting their bond. But what? Tasha's frustration seeped through her calm facade as she pressed on about their struggles, tipping into the precarious territory of open family dialogues. Their relationship, though resilient, needed nurturing amidst the rising pressures they each faced. He listened carefully, attempting to navigate these emotional waters, wanting to connect deeply despite their complicated histories. Each word exchanged formed a vital connection to fortify their ties, allowing for exploration of feelings without risking deeper scars. As Tasha voiced her frustrations, Zay felt the weight of challenges they faced, but also a powerful yearning for understanding and renewed connection. Their shared history hung in the air, a reminder of past battles, yet he also grasped a vision of elevated hope. Could they find a way to engage openly, embrace their individual journeys, and still honor their bond? Zay took a breath, determined to support enduring affection, nurturing their story together amidst the trials that sought to pull them apart. "Let's keep talking," he suggested gently, feeling a spark of possibility ignite between them, and as the call continued, he held on to the belief in their resilience, ready to embrace whatever came next. Evelyn Cho sat at a sleek table in the riverfront tower cafeteria, her usual lunch of salad and soup before her. Sunlight poured through the windows, warming her navy suit. Today, she smiled, buoyed by Zay's upcoming performance and the gala of second chances. But her mind drifted to last night's tension, when Zay had almost been turned away from practice. Across from her sat Marjorie Lane, whose bright eyes and lively spirit brightened the space like sunshine. The retired schoolteacher had become Zay's neighbor and an ally in the fight for dignity and art, bringing warmth to Evelyn's cold corporate world. "Evelyn," Marjorie said, pulling a small envelope from her bag. "You need to see this." Curious, Evelyn looked up. Marjorie slid the envelope across the table. "What is it?" she asked. "It's something I found while cleaning out boxes at home." Marjorie leaned in, excitement in her voice. "It's about the Carver Community Arts Center." Evelyn raised an eyebrow, opening the envelope and extracting a yellowed newspaper clipping with the headline, "Local Arts Center Denied Funding by Citibank." The words echoed with significance. She scanned the article, detailing how Zay's mother and community leaders had fought for funding to keep the center alive, only to be denied by a bank later acquired by Evelyn's firm. The implications were suffocating. "Can you believe this?" Marjorie continued. "This was just before they closed. Imagine how many lives it affected." Discomfort washed over Evelyn like cold water. She nodded, feeling a familiar tightness in her chest tied to guilt over past decisions made by people no longer here to speak for themselves. "I didn't know," she murmured, wishing for some air instead of silence. Marjorie's voice softened. "I remember hearing how your company used those funds to build wealth while our community suffered." Her eyes searched for understanding or forgiveness. Evelyn placed a hand over the clipping, shielding Ida's fragile artifact with powerful implications. Swirling thoughts tormented her. Did I have a say back then? What could I have done? Uncomfortable, she resisted saying what she wasn't ready to voice just yet, layers of responsibility still to peel away. "What can we do?" Marjorie asked gently but firmly, sensing Evelyn's struggle. I'm not sure," Evelyn replied slowly, choosing her words. "I'm working with Zay. He deserves support." Marjorie nodded, though unconvinced. "That's true, but don't forget where it started." Her tone became a beacon amidst Evelyn's uncertainty. "I won't forget," Evelyn promised quietly, feeling the weight of those words against years of neglect, prioritizing profits over people. After a moment of silence hung between them, Marjorie leaned back and grinned. "Let's organize a fundraiser at the Carver Center. Get everyone involved. Let them know we're fighting for their dreams." Evelyn felt a flicker of hope igniting against doubt. Could they rally enough support? Would anyone care? As these questions tumbled, Marjorie's laughter broke through, infectious and genuine. "You're thinking too hard," Marjorie said, warmth filling her voice. "Think about all those talented people wanting to share their gifts. That's what matters." Evelyn smiled weakly, yet felt grateful for Marjorie's enthusiasm as she grappled with her burdens of doubt. Their lunch flowed into easy conversation about Music Zay's talents and later rehearsals until it was time to return to work. Life pulled them back into routines, tightly woven together like strings across an instrument awaiting its moment under shining chandeliers. As they rose, two women determined against fading memories, Marjorie gave Evelyn one last encouraging look. "Let me know if you need help," she said cheerfully, walking away with purpose. Once seated behind her polished desk, within corporate walls adorned with glossy event photos, everything felt surreal against yesterday's lingering darkness, an anchor weighing down movement forward despite eagerness fueling desire. Evelyn pushed aside remnants from lunch. The untouched salad, focusing on deeper feelings, stirred within, seeking acknowledgement while mundane distractions cloaked paths to clarity. She picked up the old clipping again, tracing its fragile edges and haunting phrases about missed opportunities. Thoughts replayed in her mind like songs stuck on repeat, desperately seeking understanding amid chaos. Alone now in the office, reflections mirrored fading whispers around Hera, motionless figure adorned with colorful accents, flashing memories that brought warmth, assuring her of what lay ahead. Evelyn squeezed the newspaper again, feeling its power calling for recognition of wrongs past and urging her toward vibrant futures. Hope echoed back, igniting new beginnings amidst turbulent seas flowing softly toward brighter horizons, reminding her of the unity created through shared stories and compassion. While memories of struggles drifted through her mind, she recognized that life thrummed with powerful rhythms, creating a lasting legacy. Embracing these connections warmed her spirit, propelling her towards emerging dreams and renewed passions, leading her to explore unknown realms, welcoming her heart to break free and forge ahead. As those thoughts swirled, Evelyn grasped tightly to hope, trusting in the potential shining brightly beyond, beckoning her toward infinite possibilities and readying her for the journey to come. The Carver Community Arts Center buzzed with excitement on a warm Saturday afternoon. Colorful streamers swayed from the ceiling, filling the air with the scent of baked goods. Children chased each other, laughter bubbling as seniors exchanged stories. In one corner, Zay Carver stood with choir members, their harmonies blending beautifully. He felt the warmth of their energy wrap around him, reigniting his joy for community and music. Evelyn Cho entered, her heart racing with the lively atmosphere. Her simple yet elegant dress flowed gracefully around her knees as she scanned the room. Approaching Zay, she tried to sound casual. "Looks like we have quite the crowd," she said, excitement barely contained. Zay grinned. "Yeah, it's great to see everyone together." He glanced at the choir members as they adjusted their music sheets, chattering animatedly. "Are you ready for today?" she asked, lowering her voice, almost conspiratorial. Zay chuckled, flexing fingers that reminded him of his arthritis. "As ready as I can be. It feels good to share music again." Evelyn saw a spark in his eyes that had been missing, recalling those late-night practices filled with laughter and connection. "Let's show them what we've got," she said with determination. The choir gathered before them, the room settling as anticipation filled the air. Zay adjusted on the piano bench beside her, taking a deep breath and feeling gratitude. This was more than a performance. It was a celebration of hope. As they began with Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor, Notes flowed freely from Zay's fingers, completely immersing them in music. Transitioning into "It Is Well With My Soul," each piece deepened Zay's connection not just to Evelyn, but to every person present. Memories flashed through his mind with every chord. Singing at church with his mother, little Joy bouncing on his knee, Tasha's tentative steps toward reconciliation, all mingling together into something powerful. Evelyn joined him in harmony, lifting each phrase with grace that moved the audience. Some swayed, held hands, or closed their eyes, lost in the moment. When they finished, applause erupted, cheers ringing out as joy filled the room. "Bravo!" shouted Marjorie from the front row, beaming proudly. Zay met Evelyn's gaze. Joy illuminated her face. "I think we did it!" he exclaimed, amid laughter echoing off the walls adorned with local youth artwork. But there was no time for rest. As people lined up by donation tables filled with baked goods, Evelyn joined Marjorie, excitement in the air. "Look how many people are here," Marjorie said, watching the growing lines by donation boxes. Every cent counted. They watched donations pile high, bills and jars of coins filled with hope and community support. The atmosphere pulsed with energy, laughter mingling with love as they embraced possibilities together. As joyful chatter resumed, Evelyn stepped aside, gathering her thoughts. Suddenly, her phone buzzed, breaking the blissful moment. She quickly read the message, realizing her commitments awaited her attention. "Keep this up," came an unfamiliar voice, offering calm assurance amidst the chaos. Turning, she found the PR liaison smiling, encouraging collaboration and connection. Joy bounded over, snugging Zay tightly, radiating pure delight. Their laughter echoed, filled with warmth and comfort, painting a colorful picture of togetherness. Evelyn prepared herself again, aware of possibilities. She felt the magic of moments shared, connections deepening, allining with her intentions. In this enchanted space, hope soared, filling dark corners with light as they reclaimed forgotten truths, weaving new legacies. With each note, they birthed renewed outlooks, welcoming a luminous journey ahead, nurturing aspirations and dreams. Sunlight filtered through clouds, warming Riverfront Tower as Evelyn Cho sat at her desk, savoring her morning coffee. Last night's rehearsal echoed in her mind. Zay invigorated the Carver Community Arts Center, filling her with pride. That pride was fleeting. Evelyn clicked on her laptop, eager for the news. The morning segment began, and the host announced a feature on the Rachmaninoff Janitor. Leaning closer, she hoped for recognition of Zay's talent and their shared mission. As footage of Zay playing in the lobby flashed by, smiles lit up the faces of passers-by. Community members praised his performance with heartfelt commentary. "This man is a treasure," one woman tearfully declared. Evelyn's smile broadened. Finally, Zay's talent was acknowledged, but her happiness swiftly turned to despair. The anchor's tone shifted as a graphic reading, Rachmaninoff Janitor, appeared. "However," she continued, "not everyone is celebrating." Evelyn's heart sank as the segment cut to footage of her playful dare. "If you can play Rachmaninoff, I'll marry you," followed by laughter from the boardroom crowd and her confident smirk on display. The anchor's voice grew serious. Critics argue that Evelyn Cho's demeanor may seem condescending toward older workers. A clip of Zay shyly behind his piano, with Evelyn beside him, played. The anchor concluded, "This exchange highlights an age-old struggle between corporate power and respect for dignity." Evelyn felt gut-punched as hashtags began trending. Smirked. Disbelief washed over her as comments streamed in. Did she really say that? What a joke! Mocking an older black worker? Disgusting. How can we trust someone who laughs at those beneath her? Anger surged within her. It was unfair. She never intended to demean Zay or anyone else. Slamming her laptop shut, she pressed her palms against it for support, deep breaths barely calming the wildfire of fury. Her phone buzzed. Ruben Patel was calling. "Evelyn," he said curtly, "I just saw what happened with Smirked." "Ruben," she started, shaken. "This isn't good for our image. If the gala tanks because of your choices—" He hesitated. "You're out." Evelyn gritted her teeth, trying to remain calm. It wasn't just her at stake. It was Zay, and everyone else counting on them. The gala represented hope, not just funding, but dignity. "I'm not backing down," she shot back fiercely. "Then you better ensure everything goes perfectly," Reuben warned before hanging up abruptly. Silence enveloped her office as frustration mingled with fear filled the air. The stakes were higher now. How could they pull off the gala without further media backlash? Thoughts whirled. Didn't they work hard? The open house should have united people. Taking a deep breath, she shook off doubts. They could turn this around. Suddenly, inspiration struck. The local radio station loved community stories. She needed to get ahead of the narrative. Evelyn jotted down ideas on a legal pad. With each point, purpose surged within her. This wasn't only about herself anymore. It was about standing against injustice wrapped in misunderstanding. She stood quickly from her desk. Fueled by determination, action was needed. The radio station was calling for a live segment today at noon. Time was of the essence, but if anyone could turn the tides, it was her. Evelyn checked herself in the mirror, looking resolute despite lingering unease. Sunlight streamed brightly into Riverfront Tower, illuminating possibilities beyond those polished marble walls. The hours slipped by until noon arrived. Entering the studio, excitement buzzed around her, invigorating energy enveloping the vibrant space filled with colorful posters celebrating local talents. As she stepped into the mixing studio, she felt alive amid the eager members preparing to share their stories. An inviting voice welcomed listeners over the speakers. "We're here today because we believe in community." Evelyn's words flowed sincerely, breaking through the barriers of yesterday, embracing vulnerability amid challenges. With heartfelt sincerity, she spoke of music healing, connecting souls, igniting hope, and encouraging unity. But doubt lingered just outside, dark clouds gathering ominously. Focused on forging connections and nurturing dialogue, she emphasized shared stories, healing and uplifting spirits. Each note rang true, inviting truthfulness, celebrating resilience. In that moment, a long spell of silence shattered as her phone rang, snapping her back to reality. Breathless and striving, she resolved to transform the chaos into something uplifting that acknowledged pain and fostered growth, weaving together a legacy of authenticity and compassion. But deep within, the weight of burdens held tight, reminding her of the fragility underlying their quest. With newfound clarity and determination, she breathed deeply, ready for the journey ahead, embracing the miraculous adventures waiting just beyond the horizon. The church was quiet, a sanctuary filled with memories and echoes of worship. Zay Carver sat alone at the piano, the coolness of the keys beneath his fingers offering a familiar comfort. The dim light from a single lamp cast gentle shadows across the room, making it feel like a secret place just for him. He had come to practice after a long day of cleaning and preparing for the gala. The notes he played felt like whisper-soft, soothing sounds that floated in the air like feathers. Zay closed his eyes, allowing himself to drift into the music, letting it wash over him like a warm embrace. His fingers danced across the keys, first tentatively and then with more confidence as he played Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor. The notes swelled and flowed, rising and falling like waves crashing against the shore. Each chord pulled him deeper into his memories, the laughter of his daughter Tasha when she was small, Joy's curious eyes watching him play, and the proud smile on his late mother's face during church services when he performed. But as he lost himself in the rhythm of the piece, something shifted. A sharp pain shot through his right hand mid-run, causing him to falter. He winced, but pressed on through sheer willpower. He had been here before. Arthritis had been an uninvited guest for years now, sometimes taking control when he least expected it. "Just keep going," he whispered to himself, trying to push through the discomfort. But as he continued to play, each note felt heavier than before. He could feel sweat gathering on his brow as he struggled with the music that once flowed so easily from his fingertips. Zay's breath quickened, each keystroke sent jolts of pain shooting up his arm like firecrackers going off one after another. He took a deep breath and slowed down, massaging his fingers gently against his thigh while keeping one hand on the piano to maintain some semblance of continuity. Evelyn had trusted him with this gala. Her faith in him meant everything, but what if he couldn't deliver? The thought loomed heavy in his mind. What if all this effort led to disappointment? He rubbed at his wrist again, but tried to hide how severe it felt. No need for Evelyn to worry about him more than she already did. The church was empty to need a safe haven where secrets could be shared with only God as witness. As silence enveloped him once more, Zay finally let out a shaky breath that had been trapped in his chest. His heart felt heavy not just with pain but with worry for Evelyn too. She had been so anxious lately with all that had happened since their viral moment together at Riverfront Tower. How could she juggle her responsibilities and still believe they would succeed? With every note ringing hollow now in comparison to what once brought joy, he stopped playing entirely. Zay glanced around at the quiet walls surrounding him, feeling both small and connected to something much larger than himself. The candles flickered softly along the altar, illuminating dust motes floating gracefully through still air, the very essence of hope grounded by faith. The memory of Tasha's voice came rushing back into focus. Music won't pay the rent. Those words cut deep. It was true that music wouldn't put food on their table or keep a roof over their heads yet. It held something vital beyond mere survival. It nurtured souls and fed spirits yearning for beauty in life's struggle. Zay felt a familiar ache deep within, a longing that never seemed to leave him no matter how hard he tried, like an old friend who overstayed their welcome but remained impossible to forget. He leaned forward slightly against the polished wood of the piano as he closed his eyes again. Trying not to dwell on physical limitations or economic realities that weighed heavily upon them all these days leading up to the Goliath wasn't easy when so much depended upon this night succeeding. God, Zay murmured softly into empty space around him, as if seeking guidance from an unseen presence nearby, watching over every creak of wood or shuffle of cloth. Help me find strength. The silence answered back like an embrace, holding tight without suffocating, a sacred promise wrapped tightly around hope, mingling with desperation, coursing through veins, still alive despite challenges faced daily while navigating an unforgiving world. Please, Zay continued quietly, help us make this gala meaningful. As those words left his lips unbidden yet intentionality felt almost tangible. An invisible thread binding them together, resonating far beyond four walls, containing their dreams, aspirations hidden away within songs written by hand-crafted, moments steeped deeply into history itself, connecting generations before and after them alike, all sharing common threads woven throughout time itself, guiding those brave enough to reach out even when hope seemed scarce. As if responding directly to those prayers spoken out loud, the pain started retreating gradually. With newfound resolve emerging amidst uncertainty swirling inside, Zay placed both hands firmly back onto smooth ivory keys, reclaiming control over melodies waiting patiently beneath fingertips, longing for release. With renewed focus now edging past fears, the chords sprang forth buoyantly, echoing vibrant notes, dancing around corners, laced together harmoniously, capturing essence lost earlier. His heart soared higher, as rhythms united each bar into crescendos carried upward, sending ripples outward, filling empty spaces until every corner breathed again, radiating warmth even against darkness lurking nearby. Moments slipped away seamlessly, intertwined within passages, weaving brighter hues, returning forgotten colors into life itself, leaving traces behind glimmering brilliantly against shadows cast along worn paths traveled countless times before but somehow felt fresh under evening stars, shining bright overhead, illuminating darkness, encircling them. Zay's mind drifted into cherished memories, floating back amidst notes, cascading fluidly, merging sacred hymns, filled moments shared together among family gatherings, embracing laughter, shared joys, evoking smiles, lingering ever after. Dancing lightly through cherished recollections, lighting pathways, guiding homeward, always pulling toward brighter tomorrows, awaiting ahead, brimming forth full promise, filled richness, yearning boldly grasped, close despite uncertainties, lingering forever after behind. Every chord sung loudly resonated, deeply unveiling emotions. Once buried underneath heaviness lifted gently, revealing soulfulness rooted firmly, reminding weary hearts alive with vibrancy, burning brightly, reigniting flames, softly flickering, kindling embers growing strong, refusing extinguishment till daylight breaks anew. The melody crescendoed brilliantly, wrapping around him warmly, encouraging creativity, allowing artistry flourished, painting existence, breathtakingly resplendent, shining brilliance, illuminating darkest corners. Oft-forgotten leading spirits, onward embracing life, sweetly undeterred, unfurling wings, soaring freely, traversing beyond horizons, set steadfast far away. Time blurred seamlessly, slipping through fingers effortlessly, yet bound together entwined, tightly experiencing exquisite moments, imbued wholly transforming mundane scenes, dramatically awakened senses, heightened, vividly perceptive grasping. Deeper meanings, hidden beneath surface, exposing layers, softly beckoning truths, awaiting discovery, offering treasures gained abundantly, enriching lives, touched forevermore, nurturing connections, building bridges lasting eternally precious. Gifts given selflessly passed down, creating harmony, strung between generations, weaving legacies, everlasting, flowing endlessly, ever onward chasing shadows, trailing faintly left behind, blazing brightly anew amid constellations shining. Brilliant casting hopes, soaring forth, bursting alive toward greatness, sought endlessly illuminating paths, forged together embracing futures, bolder, stronger, growing ever brighter. But soon exhaustion weighed heavily against bones, strained, pulling energy downwards, tired breaths, escaping parted lips, whispering quietly, offering gratitude, knowing magic, revealed granted between songs, rising again, pushing onward, reaching beyond grasp tirelessly, fervent, relentless, daring, uncovered depths, still remaining untapped, seeking joy, joyfully pursuing dreams, yet unseen, rising, ever hopeful, fearless journey. Embarked, embracing lessons learned, openly yielding lives lived. Fully touching hearts, igniting passions, brightening skies, coloring existence, profoundly cherishing spirit. Enlivened, eternally cherished, hoping planting seeds, reaping harvests, wondrous growth, spring forth, nourishing, flourishing, continuing. Dance, rhythmically. Weaving tapestry, rich, blessed symphony, unfolding, embracing endless possibility. Always blooming graciously, glowing softly, bright amid night, serenely leading onward toward destinations, dreamed awaited, discovering treasures. Hidden, profound, connecting, ultimately fulfilling journey, embarked fearlessly, rejoicing wondrous tales, shared gracefully, rejoicing amidst trials, overcome unwavering belief, anchored, steadfast, resolute standing, tall, continuing, thrive, prevail. Despite stormy winds surging strongly, relentlessly challenging, undeterred, soaring, high-tracing arcs, threading infinite possibilities, created woven unity, adorned precious bonds, shimmering magnificently, entwined, forming harmony, singing, soulful resonances, harmonizing, thriving, enduring beauty, blossoming beautifully lifetimes, living, dancing, beautifully spirited journeys, embraced, carrying dreams, written lovingly, etched deeply upon hearts, tethered, richly connected, celebrating, life exalted, always touching, reaching, returning, always homeward, finding rest, sweet, surrender, cherished. As they finished playing one last melodic run, tinged, shimmering, ethereal, catching breath left behind, trailing off notes, lingering, sweetly captured, vanishing, slowly dissipating, elegantly casting spells, enchanting, richly bathing walls, stirring warm pulses, awakening sacred spaces, inviting remembrance, returning home, gathering whispers, ethereal, rebounding, brightly filled churches, dim corners, vibrant energy, fluttering, flapping, spreading open widely, urging, soaring gently, everywhere. Granting blessings, shared rippling calm water spreads, radiating peace, swiftly surrounding, offering refuge gently. Welcoming harbor, light-bathed, radiant, glowing, pulsing, warmly enveloped, fully flowing freely, sustaining eternity. Wrapping kindred spirits, closer fostering, friendships planted deep, cherished, securing stronger foundations, joined perpetually, walking side by side, ascending higher paving pathways, rejoicing wholly grounded, strong determined weathering. Storms surmountable, every challenge faced, transcending, enduring love, reaching well beyond horizon, clasp hands, holding tightly, forging ahead, lighting torch, signaling timeless, calling herald, proclaim glorious gift, unravel truth, beauty, woven. Existence lives cherished, Honoring stories meant shared continuously, revealing unity born belonging ever entwined. And there, amid shadows playing, gently breathing together, breathing alongside faith, firmly restored, inspiring courage, drawing strength emerging, brimming eternally united. Zay paused, then finally whispered another prayer into that empty air, filling it with faith untold awakening, hopes reborn, reaching tirelessly, expanding, endlessly binding everyone together. The morning light filtered through the tall windows of the executive boardroom, casting long shadows across the polished table. Evelyn Cho sat at the head of the table, her fingers tapping nervously against her notes. She could feel the tension in the room as CFO Ruben Patel cleared his throat, preparing to deliver news that would shatter their dreams. "Thank you for gathering on such short notice," he began, glancing around at the board members who sat with furrowed brows and tight lips. "As you all know, we've faced quite a stir since the video went viral. But with that attention comes scrutiny." Evelyn felt her heart race. The gala was only a day away. How could they be discussing anything but excitement? She leaned forward, trying to read Ruben's expression. "What are you saying?" she asked, her voice steady despite the uncertainty coiling within her. Ruben flipped open a folder and glanced down at his notes. "After last night's vandalism at the Carver Center and growing concerns over security measures, we need to make some tough decisions." He paused for effect. "For security reasons, we have no choice but to officially cancel tomorrow's gala." Gasps echoed around the room like thunderclaps, followed by murmurs of disbelief. "What?" Evelyn exclaimed, her voice sharper than she intended. "You can't be serious." Ruben met her gaze with a coolness that chilled her more than the winter air outside. "I am serious. We cannot risk anyone's safety. We have a responsibility to our investors and employees." "But we've worked so hard," Evelyn protested, rising from her chair in frustration. "Zay has put his heart into this performance. This isn't just about us. It's about giving back to the community." Ruben remained unmoved. "And what about our image? If something were to happen during an event we organized?" Evelyn cut him off, desperation creeping into her voice. "It won't. We can take extra precautions, hire security, or move it somewhere else." "There are protocols in place for a reason," Ruben insisted, his tone unyielding as he gestured toward a memo he had circulated earlier in the week. The other board members exchanged uneasy glances as tension crackled in the air. Evelyn felt helpless, as if she were watching everything slip through her fingers like sand on a windy day. The community had rallied around this gala. They were ready to sing together and celebrate their shared love for music and art. It was supposed to be a moment of healing. "Please," she urged again, her voice softer now but filled with resolve. "We can't let fear dictate our actions." Ruben's expression softened ever so slightly before hardening again. "It's not just fear. It's caution based on real threats." Evelyn opened her mouth to respond but was cut off by another board member chiming in. "And what about your role in all of this? You took that dare without thinking it through." Her stomach sank at those words, the weight of blame crashing down upon her like an avalanche. She had wanted to bring joy. Now it felt as if she was drowning in disappointment. "Let's not forget," Ruben continued smoothly, taking control of the conversation again, "that there have been calls for your resignation due to Smirked." He pronounced it as if it were some fatal disease instead of an unfortunate twist of fate that had spiraled out of control. A murmur rippled through the room again at those words. "Administrative review is necessary," Ruben stated firmly, as if he had already made up his mind long ago. Evelyn fought back tears of anger and frustration but found herself unable to speak. It felt as if someone had stolen all air from her lungs. A silence hung over them, thick like fog rolling into town. "And Zay?" she finally managed to say after what felt like an eternity. "We will communicate our decision regarding his position later today," Ruben replied without any sign of empathy or remorse. As each member filed out of the boardroom after that fateful meeting, Evelyn remained seated at the head of the table, feeling smaller than ever amid stacks of papers and leftover coffee cups, abandoned by people who once believed in their vision for change. The cold wind whipped through Riverfront Tower's promenade as Zay walked along its length, hands shoved deep into his pockets for warmth against winter's biting chill. His heart felt heavy. He couldn't shake off an impending sense of dread settling in his chest like stones weighing him down. Yesterday had been filled with laughter and hope, the rehearsal at Carver Center buzzing with life, while Joy clapped along happily, but today felt entirely different, now that news reached him about canceled plans looming ahead like dark clouds obscuring sunlight from shining through once more. As he turned a corner near where water lapped gently against rocks below him, calming sound drowned out by winds howling overhead, he spotted Evelyn walking toward him along this very same promenade where they'd shared many moments together before, both happy yet weighed down by unsaid thoughts, now swirling around them both like restless leaves caught in gusts around autumn trees nearing wintertime. She looked different today, her sharp suit contrasting starkly against gray skies above them, and something deeper lay hidden beneath that professional facade she wore so well. Hurt, mingled with anger, seemed palpable even from afar. Zay stopped short when their eyes met. Time slowed. Between Thema delicate moment, suspended amid chaos outside their control end. He didn't know what words could bridge this distance, now stretched wide, between two souls, bound by music yet caught within silence itself. Zay. Evelyn began hesitantly when they finally drew closer together until only mere feet separated them across ground, stained, darkened from rain earlier that morning. Unexpected hush settled over everything except sounds rising up, city, streets below, echoing softly above turbulent waters, crashing beyond stone walls, lining riverside edges far away, where melodies danced freely unchained from burdens pressing down upon hearts, here amongst them, too tight. I heard, Zay finally said after moments dragged on far too long, stretching every second beyond belief. It wasn't easy uttering those words amid storms brewing silently beneath calm exteriors, masking inner turmoil, waiting just below. Surface tension threatening bursts forth any time without warning. And yet somehow both understood there was nothing else left unsaid, needing saying any more between them anyway. Yes. Her voice broke slightly under pressure, forcing weightier truths out into open air, instead kept bottled inside. Yet still holding on to poise, slipping slightly at edges, all too evident now as though vulnerability blossomed. Slowly revealing colors hidden beneath layers, meant concealing real selves, lost amid everyday facades put forth on display. Outside world expected seeing only polished surfaces shining brightly while disregarding messiness lying beneath. Surface skin facing one another, candidly here right now, amongst unforgiving winds battering around hearts, longing connection, needing touch, reminding warmth. Never truly gone forever, lost sight, memories held close, even when distances stretch. Far beyond mere miles separating people, separated forevermore. I didn't want things to turn out this way, he finally admitted softly into wind chill, enveloping them both, momentarily wrapping around frames, sheltering hopes, flickering dimly, even while flames waned low dying embers, sparking whispers buried within soft shadows, cradling darkness close needing breath. Life breathed back again, restored anew, instead letting fade away into oblivion, unnoticed, unwanted. Neither did I. Her gaze fell briefly toward stones, embedded along ground tightly woven tapestry strands, weaving stories past lives, intertwined rich textures holding legacies. Eternal remembered living fully expressed left behind. Fragments scattered among currents, shaping present moments, passing swiftly forward, still carrying echoes, lingering echoes, reminding gentle souls intertwined graspings, once held dear returning hope back towards what might yet come. Inhaling sharply drew focus upon present, fully aware still grasped feelings welling between them, threaded seamlessly connecting unknowns, guiding paths traversed, before threading new possibilities forming ever onward shaping destinies. Written yet unfolding. Endlessly, revealing wonders still hidden beneath depths, left unexplored, discovering beauty crafted throughout journeys taken together even when standing apart, witnessing glimmers, catching rays, refracted dancing. Radiantly shimmering sunlight, weaving brighter tapestries always surrounding softly, catching breath, each step taken closer, revealing glories still awaiting discovery. Just ahead, turning corners, leading onward, journeying forward, unfurling. New beginnings. Shimmering eternally, reflecting endless possibilities, flowing gently, embracing vibrant hues surrounding heartbeats, matching rhythmic pulses, beating, resonating together harmoniously, united alongside currents, gently pulling toward distant shores, shimmering under night skies, bursting forth brilliance, born alive, bursting light, illuminating paths, guiding footsteps, brightening horizons, ever expanding inward, reaching outward simultaneously, gathering strength, lifting spirits, elevating souls, rising ever higher, shining boldly onward through twilight, dawning new horizons, sparkling vividly, illuminating futures, glowing brighter awakening, wonder beckoning, inviting embrace, sharing love freely spoken, binding connections, strong, deep-rooted, enriching lives, discovering treasures never dreamed possible, waiting, patiently, nurturing seeds, sown planting gardens, full blooming, beautifully, growing, fiercely, resilient, proudly nurtured, becoming radiant gifts shared endlessly, spread joy, limitless expressions, love offering, compassion, illuminating hearts everywhere, touched enlightening lives, brightening existence, profoundly transforming experience, uniquely crafting extraordinary narratives, collectively bound, journey traveled together weaving intricate tales, wondrous essence, vibrantly alive, eternally connected, pulsing, vibrantly resounding rhythms, symphonies, blending seamlessly, echoing timeless harmonies, transcending barriers, embracing humanity, gathering strength, uniting countless souls, intertwined lifting spirits, high allowing dreams fly freely, dancing carefree, entwined laughter, lingering sweet fragrance, whirling whims, breathing freedom, fully expressed together, alive. Neither knew how long they stood there, until chill seeped deeper, chilled bones buried beneath layers kept shielding warmth, needed desperately staving off frigid winds gnawing painfully entering, vulnerable spaces, unwilling surrender, relinquishing hold upon hearts, wishing escape, returning semblance, comforted, knowing still anchored closeness, safely tethered grounding, spirit longing, seeking solace, derived simply being near resonant presence, somehow finding courage, standing steadfast together. Finally, breaking silence, spoken aloud, bringing sound, returning heartbeat, back flowing, rhythm steadily, drumming, soothing resonances, echoing, calling forth feelings, brimming emotions, unsaid, swirling within depths, yearning, share, return song. Hopeful urging, whispers beckoning release, powerful tides rushing, flowing sweet melodies, cascading, embracing, warmly woven gentle chords, strumming strings, vital anchoring centered amidst storms, raging ferociously outside, beyond breaths taken. Renewed, freshly forged, emerging ready greet dawn, glimmering usher peace, awaiting softly burgeoning filling spaces, opening, inviting cherishing endless journeys, transforming entire essence, lifting life celebrating moments existing living, creating beauty openly flourishing forevermore. In the cool, dimly lit basement of the church, Evelyn Cho sat at a long table strewn with papers, pens, and a half-empty mug of peppermint tea. The walls were painted a soft beige, and sunlight peeked through small windows, creating a warm glow amidst the shadows. It was a space usually filled with laughter and community gatherings, but today felt different. Today was about action. Evelyn leaned forward, her brow furrowed in concentration. She sketched out ideas for what she was calling the People's Gala. The plan was simple, yet ambitious. An outdoor event that would invite everyone in the community to come together without barriers, no ticket fees. Just an encouragement to donate if they could. "Let's make this inclusive," she muttered to herself, jotting down notes as she spoke. Music should be for everyone. Her heart raced at the thought of organizing something so bold. Could it really work? Could they pull together enough support after everything that had happened? She glanced at her phone lying on the tablia, lifeline to her board members, to Zay, and to Marjorie. But right now, it felt like it could also be a tether pulling her back into fear. The faint sound of voices drifted down from upstairs, slaughter and chatter filled with hope. It reminded her why she was here. Her mind wandered back to Zay's hands flying across the piano keys, transforming pain into beauty. The community needed that light again. She took a deep breath and picked up her pen again. Location: church grounds. Can we use tents? She wrote hurriedly before scratching it out. Just then, Marjorie entered with Deacon Earl behind her. They brought an air of optimism that made Evelyn smile despite herself. Got your favorite snack? Marjorie announced cheerfully as she placed a plate of homemade cookies on the table, chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin. Evelyn chuckled softly. You're going to spoil me, she said as she reached for a cookie. The sweetness melted on her tongue and made her feel momentarily lighter. Have you started planning yet? Deacon Earl asked as he settled into a chair beside her. I'm sketching out ideas for this gala, Evelyn replied earnestly. But I need more than just ideas. I need help. Marjorie nodded enthusiastically. We're here for that. What can we do? Evelyn looked up from her notes and locked eyes with them both. I want to make this an event where everyone feels welcome, like they belong, she explained passionately. It'll be free entry, but we'll encourage donations so we can raise money for the Carver Community Arts Center. That sounds wonderful, Marjorie exclaimed. But, Deacon Earl interjected gently, how do you plan on getting people there, with all that's happened recently? I'm hoping that by making it free and accessible, Evelyn began thoughtfully, we can draw in those who might feel hesitant after everything, the vandals and the cancellations. Marjorie tapped her chin in thought before speaking up again. What if we involve local businesses? They could help promote it or even donate items for raffles. Yes, Evelyn said excitedly as new ideas sparked in her mind like fireflies lighting up dark corners. She quickly jotted down notes. Local business partnerships, food donations, raffle prizes. Deacon Earl leaned forward in his seat, eyes glimmering with possibility. We could use our church network too. I know many folks who would love to help organize. The conversation buzzed around the table like bees gathering nectar from flowers, a sense of unity beginning to blossom among them. What about volunteers? Marjorie suggested eagerly. Yes. Evelyn nodded vigorously again as she wrote down more names on her notepad. We can ask everyone from our choir members to community leaders. I can start making calls tonight, Deacon Earl offered readily. And I'll reach out to my neighbors, Marjorie added excitedly while looking over at Evelyn's notes. A wave of gratitude washed over Evelyn. Their willingness made everything seem possible again despite past failures looming in their minds like heavy clouds threatening rain. They spent the next hour discussing details, logistics of setting up tents outdoors, securing food trucks instead of catering services so they wouldn't have hefty costs up front, and perhaps having local musicians perform alongside Zay. Think how powerful it will be. Evelyn urged them both while grinning widely at this idea, forming in her heart a concert where stories intertwined through music. But soon after outlining initial plans came another layer. The marketing aspect weighed heavily on her mind too. How would they spread awareness effectively without any budget? Marjorie caught on to this line of thought immediately. When noticing Evelyn's expression darkening slightly once more, it mirrored earlier moments where doubt threatened hope yet again, like shadows creeping back into light-filled rooms. What about social media? Marjorie suggested suddenly before picking up another cookie enthusiastically while speaking more brightly now than before. I know lots of people who love sharing good news. Yes, echoed Deacon Earl enthusiastically too as he leaned closer across their shared excitement, bubbling over their hands, resting atop one another. Casually during brainstorming sessions had become familiar companions, now bonded through mutual support already. With newfound determination, driving them all forward into this venture ahead, together the trio spent hours diving deep into various ways they could connect beyond traditional advertising routes, utilizing flyers or newspapers alone. They discussed live videos highlighting rehearsals leading up until Gala Day itself, along with inspirational posts telling stories behind individuals involved too. It wasn't until late evening when exhaustion finally crept in upon them. Marjorie sighed contentedly, leaning back against her chair, allowing herself momentarily blissful reprieve amidst such fruitful collaboration. However, Evelyn wasn't ready quite yet. Finish off with another call first, perhaps. She glanced around, scanning remaining supplies before rising abruptly, announcing decisively, I'm booking us a live radio slot. Both Marjorie and Deacon Earl exchanged glances, filled equal parts shock, Disbelief. Delight. Their mouths dropped open slightly while eyebrows raised high overhead quizzically, assessing what sounded too good, merely imagining transpiring right now, let alone actually being possible. Wait, what do you mean by live, exactly? Marjorie questioned slowly, almost teasingly curious, wondering aloud if things had become surreal overnight somehow. Evelyn met their gaze unwavering, asserting confidently, every word chosen carefully enunciated precisely without faltering whatsoever. I want us there sharing our story together, openly encouraging. Others join forces, unite, spread word about Gala with sincerity, reaching hearts directly, instead relying solely statistics, numbers, coldness, detracting personal touch. Most effective communication comes only warmth, kindness amongst friends, loved ones, communities alike. Her voice rang true conviction, resonating throughout space, wrapping each person seated closely inside. Comforting, embrace, newfound shared understanding, nurturing beliefs, rooting deep within souls, waiting patiently, cultivate, courage manifest. Action intentions into reality, embracing strength, found friendships, grown strong bonds, formed unbreakable, connecting throughout life's winding journeys, traversing toward brighter tomorrows ahead, all yearning, spark change, shaping worlds beyond themselves, inspiring transformation. All right then, declared Deacon Earl, grinning widely, nodding approvingly, lifting arms upward, triumphantly embodying spirit, resilience, embracing possibilities, uniting voices together, harmonizing through melodies, born hope, forging paths never traveled, only dreamed, realized, becoming living testament, power, faith, believing themselves, rising, stronger heights, always dreaming, soaring ever higher, despite odds stacked firmly against, facing adversities, each step courageously taken onward, persevering. Relentless pursuit, purpose, passion, driven forward, illuminating light, guiding steps along, winding roads ahead, fueled desire, see goodness flourish, bright shining brightly, illuminating darkness, shrouding places, lost finding way home again. Discovering new beginnings, blossoming everywhere around. Discovering true purpose, ignite flames, desires buried, dormant awakening, powerful longing, sparking joy, flowing freely, nourishing spirit, soul, entire community, joining hands, lifting hearts, raising spirits, singing songs triumph, inspiring one another, becoming movement, making ripples, creating waves, lasting change, cascading forth, empowering generations rise, united, proclaiming proudly, louder voices singing together, standing strong, united, embodying vision where everyone welcomed, embraced, included, celebrating life, gifted music, weaving fabric, life connecting threads, weaving intricate tapestry forever, telling stories, vibrant colors blending beautifully, painting, world-filled harmony, dreams turning realities, unlocking doors, hearts open, welcoming. Everyone joined journey toward greatness, shared aspirations, lives intertwining, resonating rhythm, echoes playing loudly, inspiring action continue. Echo, reaching far beyond individual souls, resonating deeply, universal truth touching every life, kindred spirits aligning journey, discovering self-worth, infinite possibilities, waiting, eager embrace, holding tight hand in hand, forging brighter futures ahead, illuminating pathways, clearing fog obstacles, surmountable victory, sweet tastes earned alongside dear friends, guiding spirits, offering support, love, nurturing safety, fostering trust, compassion, healing wounds, bridging gaps, silencing fears, bringing people together, reconnecting, lost, seeking joy, rediscovering hope, lifting burdens, freeing chains, inspiring transformation. And just like that, within few moments silence, broken, reverberating laughter, filled room mixing scents, delightful cookies, peppermint sweetened, bringing warmth, bonding comrades rally around common cause, igniting sparks, renewed purpose. Filling hearts ready, take action, set wheels motion, turning dreams, aspirations, uplifting visions, bringing positive change, flourishing, richly cultivated, harvesting bountiful blessings, nourishing each other, tending gardens planted, watered, diligently cultivated, faithfully nurturing relationships, fostering love, guiding friendships, nurturing care, infusing laughter, sharing joy, mingling experiences, enveloped camaraderie, grounded, authentic connection, woven intricately among lives. Intertwined coloring. Canvases, stories written alongside humble beginnings, seeking greatness, manifest unfolding, possibility, thriving, overcoming challenges, arising wiser, transformed, resilient, better version selves, realizing potential, standing tall, proud, marching forward, forging pathways, brightened radiance, shining proudly, reminding, world beauty, harmony, thrives within diverse communities, celebrating collective strength, emboldened, driven, committed, champion values, uplift, dignity, respect, care, passion, compassionate outreach, unity, fueled, genuine love, connection, friendships, everlasting embrace, enduring presence, making impact, lifting others, uplifting hearts, planting seeds, brightening futures, inspiring transformations, redefining limitations, removing barriers, celebrating inclusivity, weaving vibrancy, alive, forever etched history. Emerging courageous, resilient souls, tirelessly, striving relentlessly, working, bring beauty, flourish. Illuminate, inspire, reaching higher, transcending, ordinary, extraordinary rise, becoming legacies, witnessed echoes resonate softly, long after voices fade, vibrant histories persist harmoniously, defining legacies, lighting way tomorrow, casting brilliant shimmering glow, illuminating paths ahead, walking stride, walking step, awakening, desire, unleash limitless possibilities, generating wonder, reigniting passions, pursuing greatness amidst uncertain realms, grasp, hold heartache. Cultivating wisdom flowing through essence, renewal opportunities, beckoning shine, brightly, sparkle amid darkness, swirling whisper, challenge, shadows, invite light, join, traverse horizon, reveal hidden treasures await, discovery profound. Connections, illuminate trails, lead faith, integrity building, bridges, encouraging, forging, peace, paving paths, rippling energies, embraced always holding, dear near beloved spirits, grounded roots unshakable, extending infinitely embracing, families enriched blossoming communities, elevating lives forever, growing, thriving, everlasting legacy, aspiring dreamers, chasing horizons, bursting forth fulfilled journeys, weaving dreams manifest, changing tides, usher forth dawn, breathtaking. Promise tomorrow, hold endless grace, flowing abundantly. Sow gratitude, honoring gifts, bestowed luminous destinies, merging magic transcendence, lovingly crafted, cherished, collectively held unfolding, continuously, journey embarked everlasting. Embraces foster kinship, friendships binding, celebrate symphonies, beautifully woven, bringing forth tomorrow, transforming world entirely, allowing potential manifest, truly free, wondrous creation, shared embrace futures, limitless realms lie ahead. Evolving upon paths, envision traversing landscapes, created grounded principles, rooted diversity, inclusion, shining radiantly, gleaming brilliantly, destined usher light spread far wide, encompassing realm extraordinary awaiting arise. Ascend, embracing richness, flavor, friendship, joining voices carry forth thunderous resonance, echo bright promise, belonging family, treasured circle, welcoming individuals nurtured, enriched endlessly unconditional bond, nourishing spirits, igniting spark music, birthed warmth, fire wrapped closely, hearts breathing, laughter sprinkled memories, joyous experiences, unforgettable, inviting united friends, gathered joys, eternal unveiling futures, bold awakening, faithful commitment, building hopeful foundations, dedicated flourishing collective dreams, destined reach heights, unfathomable, intertwined, expanding vibrancy, cherished belonging, lingering sweetness, permeates walls, enveloped aura, boundless compassion, creating gentle tides overflow, countless souls journey, evolving lifetimes, precious, united, emboldened, brightly, lifted forever, treasured, illuminated dance, continuously unfolding, infinity shared. Evelyn sat in the small studio of Riverfront Radio, a place filled with the comforting hum of equipment and the faint scent of coffee. A bright red on-air sign glowed above her head, casting a warm light across the room. She could feel her heart racing, echoing loudly in her ears. The walls were adorned with photographs of local heroes and community events faces smiling out at her as if encouraging her to speak. "Okay, Evelyn," said Mark, the radio host, adjusting his headset and leaning closer to her. "You're on in 3, 2, 1. The moment the microphone was switched on, a wave of determination washed over Evelyn. She took a deep breath, feeling both nervous and resolute. This was it, the chance to reach out to the city she loved and ask for their help. "Good morning, Riverfront. This is Evelyn Cho," she began, forcing warmth into her voice, despite the weight of anxiety pressing down on her chest. "I'm here today not just as your CEO, but as a fellow member of our community." She paused, remembering how her dare had spiraled into something far bigger than herself, viral moment that turned into public scrutiny. She needed to acknowledge that moment without letting it define her. "I want to start by apologizing for my words during that meeting. When I jokingly challenged Zay Carver to play Rachmaninoff, I never meant to belittle him or anyone else in our community," she continued. "My intentions were misguided and hurtful. I deeply regret how they came across." Evelyn felt a weight lifting as she spoke those words, each syllable carved through layers of guilt built up since that day. The sincerity in her tone began to thaw some of the coldness that had settled over her heart like ice. "But now," she said, gathering strength for what came next, "I want to invite all of you to join us for a very special event, the People's Gala. It will be held right here in Riverfront Park this Saturday evening." Mark nodded encouragingly beside her, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "This gala isn't just about music, it's about coming together as a community," Evelyn continued passionately. "We are raising funds for the Carver Community Arts Center, the place where dreams flourish and creativity thrives. Our goal is not only to save it, but also to celebrate every voice and story within our city." As she spoke, she imagined families gathering in the park, children laughing, older folks reminiscing about their own music-filled days, while neighbors shared stories over homemade treats laid out on picnic tables beneath glowing lanterns. Evelyn felt fire igniting within herself again as she pressed forward. "Hope isn't a line item, it's something we must cultivate together." With those words hanging in the air like music notes waiting to be played, she hoped they would resonate with listeners across Riverfront. "And let me assure you," she added with conviction, "Zay Carver will be headlining this gala. We want everyone who believes in second chances and believes in community to come out and support him." A pause fell between them before Mark leaned back into his microphone. "What an incredible opportunity. So folks at home, get ready. You can be part of something special this Saturday." Evelyn could see him smiling brightly through the corner of her eye, his excitement infectious as he leaned forward once more into his mic. "We'll also have local musicians performing throughout the night. Food trucks will be there too, all donations welcome." He flashed Evelyn an encouraging nod, while signaling that they had only moments left before going off air. "Let's make this gala not just an event, but a movement," Evelyn concluded passionately. "Thank you for listening today, and let's come together this Saturday evening." The red light flicked off, suddenly signaling their time was UPAN. Odd silence fell over them both for just a moment before Mark clapped his hands together excitedly. "That was fantastic," he said with genuine warmth, lighting up his face, now radiating enthusiasm spilling over from every word spoken earlier. "People will respond, they always do." Evelyn smiled back, though still feeling raw from exposing herself publicly. However, underneath lay simmering excitement, growing strong once again, fueled hope, rising higher with each passing minute, carried onward from radio waves reaching far beyond any barriers known previous, stretching across neighborhoods, connecting lives, inspiring transformations, joining forces, uplifting everyone, standing tall, united, believing possibility, waiting, embrace coming alive, thriving, endlessly nurturing hope, igniting brighter futures ahead. As they left the studio hand in hand, chatting animatedly about how best promote upcoming gala weekend plans, shared thoughts, bursting ideas, bubbling forth eagerly, a palpable energy hung thick around them like magic woven intricately among lives, intertwined, celebrating all possibilities, flourishing friendships, nurtured, rekindling, connection, ignited hearts, awakening joy, sparking flames, desires burning brightly, lighting paths ever onward, leading toward greatness awaiting them ahead, yearning, fulfilled, shining, brilliantly, casting shadows, doubts aside, scattering fears, drifting away altogether, brightening horizons, illuminating futures where music fills spaces, inviting everyone join along, creating symphony, harmonizing souls, echoing through vibrant tapestry, beautifully woven, ever deeper resonating, notes played sweetly, reminding life is indeed beautiful when lived fully embraced wholeheartedly without reservations, allowing love flow freely, inspire growth, empowering generations rise united, holding hands, making impact, transforming communities, blossoming vibrantly infused spirit, kindness, love acceptance, resonating sound, warmly embracing hearts, joined together, melting barriers, bridging gaps forever, shining bright, guiding light, illuminating darkness, revealing truth beneath surface, connecting souls, nurturing understanding, inspiring action, cultivating change, igniting passion within kindred spirits, finding solace, strength, wisdom, shared dreams, growing vibrant, ever lush, reflecting glory, living purpose, unfolding magnificently, intertwined, reaching heights beyond imagination while walking side by side through every step, journeyed feeling, grace bestowed, gently wrapped around, weaving dreams, tenderly fostering relationships, blossoming fervently, sharing laughter, stories, songs, melding memories, built enduring foundation, allowing seeds planted flourish, bloom. Endlessly radiant, brimming, overflowing, joyful essence, breathing life purpose, journey onwards ahead, inspiring all around, awakening, inspiration, fueling, fire, perseverance, pushing limits, seeking excellence, pursuing endeavors, unafraid, forging new paths, embracing uncertainties, ready face whatever challenges lie, waiting, bringing good world needs, most compassion, humility, encouragement, soaring, soaring, soaring. Outside Riverfront Tower, by late afternoon, sun cast golden glow upon bustling streets below, filled voices, eager chatter, blending rhythmically, songs echoing faintly amidst excitement, blooming everywhere, planting seeds, revival, renewal, blossoming hope, flooding, cities waking, ready, awakenings, preparing, embracing beautiful beginnings unfold, dreams whispered softly, intertwined, embracing magic, filled air, breathing, life expectancy, connecting power, unyielding, believing, steadfast loving, working tirelessly, dedicated hearts united, strong, full courage, rising magnificent tales woven forth tracing arcs, destiny spun masterfully crafting legacies, storytelling, living, breathing expressions, unchained limitless, spiraling colors, palette, enhancing beauty, adorning humanity, lives everywhere, transforming spaces, forging bonds, igniting connections, expanding realms, heartfelt resonance, traversing distances, gathering strength, engaging unified dynamic, flowing currents, compassion, mingled solidarity, pouring joy, shared nourishing souls, reflecting authentic presence, elevating goodness, harmonizing whispers, weaving lasting change, growing stronger, rooting deeper, reminding us daily purpose, entwined, meaning exists outside, confines, comfort zones, stretching boundaries, encompassing world beyond, envision, connecting realities, creating pathways, visible, illuminating journeys, radiant, alive, thriving light, unshaken, persevering, undeniable, powerful, resilient, awakened spark, alive, touching, transforming surroundings, touching, becoming legacy, born fierce, courageous voices, speaking louder, singing proud, proud, standing bright, blazing trails, opening doorways, embracing new possibilities, meeting each challenge head on, inviting success, thrive, eternally, building bridges, mutual understanding, inspiring hope, lighting paths, flourishing free wings, wide open, endless sky, inviting exploration, wonder, radiating joy, Awakening hearts, igniting dreams, propelling souls, soaring high, finding unity, exploring experiences, sharing voices, breaking barriers, forming alliances, built solid foundations, boundless, expansive. With renewed energy swirling around each individual heart, inspired, willing, ready, engage actions. Taking bold leaps, surrender willingness, trusting themselves, embarking transformative journeys awaiting them unfolding, promising vibrant horizons, welcoming fresh beginnings, seeking refuge, home-rooted, self-worth, nurture, healthy, strong communities, proud, anchored, firmly, solid grounding, grow, bloom, harvest, fruit, nurturing care, safety, security, empowering, strengthen, ensuring, brighter futures, nurturing sustained generations, continuously fostering connections, boundlessly spiraling, endless wonder, weaving intricate tapestry, beautiful hues, radiating harmony, flowing effortlessly into one another, painting vivid portraits, creating rich experiences, embracing variety, engaging color, enriching beauty, diverse blending, life lovingly crafted, transformed artistry expression, transcending boundaries, capturing essence, breathing, depth, crafting stories told, reflecting individuality, yet speaking universal truths, experienced, connected, forever enriched, collaborative adventure, exploring realities, venturing alongside friends, beloved faces gathered near, intertwining hearts, boundless love, uplifting spirits, filling space, tender touch, exchanging kindness, creating everlasting impressions, legacies handed down, glimmering promises, beckoning bright infinite horizon, approaching boldly, hand in hand, weaving fate, determined, crafting paths cherished, opportunities, nurturing connections, lifetimes engaged, celebrating victories, reaching collectively further together, rising higher, carrying forward, legacy, truth, eternal, celebrating, diversity, beauty flourishes, loving, bringing everyone joining, singing triumphantly, strong, fiercely, boldly. As news spread rapidly throughout social media feeds, phones buzzed, relentlessly alerts popping, messages, flooding inboxes, filled camaraderie, urging joining towards common cause, supporting revitalization, fostering creativity, reinvigorated joy, excitement coursed through veins, unleashing pure bliss, wrapping, comforting hugs, smiles, greeting every call, made rallying, volunteers, friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, contributing energies, hopeful faith, filled purposeful steps, marching, aligned firmly, clear path, blazing brightly, shimmering resilience, guiding their way, sweeping sound, sweet melodies floated, serenading dawn, freshly paved roads, welcoming collective spirited citizens, stepping forward, raising flags, waving spirited promises, healing wounds, finding strength, power enveloped, gracious warm hearts, beating rhythmically, believing miracles possible, cultivating spaces, belonging, enabling everyone witness transformation firsthand, creating something greater than oneself, invoking pride, passion, stirring ambitions, striving hardcore values, honored, shaping visions, foster engagement throughout whole fabric lives, blending cohesively, unravel, mystery, unknown, unfurl, explore enticing adventures, awaiting those brave enough take leap, discovering truly liberating joys found anew, unlocking potential immeasurable, extending hands, united, forged brighter destinies, blooming brilliance awaiting beneath surfaces, revealing hidden treasures, daringly exposing true colors, shining, radiant, gloriously, unfurl, unabashed empowerment, love breaking chains, freedom blossoming, yielding thriving narratives, unfolding infinite potential, revealing majestic, unfolding wonder, beautiful worlds. Expanding brighter horizons, envision glowing inside, waking dream become manifest, present future, entwined, flowing river creation, unstoppable forces, rivers meet dancing, wildly, cascading colorful tapestries, adorned diversity, breathtaking, witnessing miraculous acts, paving history, shaping futures, inviting countless footsteps, join, continue pathways opened, discover awakening, understand, rejoice, honor, respect, emboldened ventures, dancing waves, harmony, singing, echoes, remembering, seeds nurtured, flourish, grow so beautifully. Over the next 2 days, the city of Riverfront came alive with excitement and purpose. The atmosphere buzzed with a mix of anticipation and hope as people rallied around the idea of the People's Gala. Evelyn could hardly believe how quickly the community responded to her call. On Thursday morning, a group of retirees gathered along the promenade, ready to hang lanterns that would light up the night. Each lantern was hand-painted, showcasing vibrant colors and unique designs. Some bore simple messages like hope and together, while others were adorned with flowers and music notes. The older folks moved with a joyful spirit, reminiscing about dances and gatherings from their youth, laughter spilling into the crisp air. Evelyn arrived at the promenade to witness this beautiful scene unfold before her eyes. She felt warmth bloom in her chest as she approached Marjorie Lane, who was carefully securing a lantern to a branch. "Marjorie, these look wonderful," Evelyn exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with genuine appreciation. "Oh, darling, you should see them lit up," Marjorie replied with a twinkle in her eye. "They'll be like stars floating above us." Evelyn nodded, imagining how magical it would feel to be surrounded by those glowing lights as music filled the air. She noticed Deacon Earl overseeing another group nearby. He waved her over enthusiastically. "Evelyn, come help us tie these banners. The kids from the church painted them just for this event," he said proudly, pointing toward colorful fabric stretched between trees. Evelyn joined him and soon found herself tying knots alongside energetic teenagers who eagerly climbed ladders and reached high for the best spots to hang their artwork. They laughed and teased one another, filling the air with youthful joy. "Look at that one," a girl shouted, pointing to a banner that read, "Music brings us together." It fluttered in the breeze like a colorful flag of unity. "That's perfect," Evelyn cheered back. The girl grinned widely as she secured her work with a knot. As they finished hanging banners, Evelyn took a moment to step back and soak it all in the sense of community forming around her like an invisible embrace. For too long, she had focused on business goals and shareholder demands, forgetting that true success lay in building connections among people. Later that afternoon, Zay arrived at Riverfront Park with his granddaughter Joy bouncing beside him. Her laughter rang out like music itself as she twirled around excitedly at all the activity happening around them. "Grandpa, look at all those lights," Joy exclaimed, pointing toward the clusters of lanterns being set up along the walkway. Zay chuckled softly. "They'll be beautiful when they're lit up," he replied warmly. "Are we going to play music tonight?" Joy asked eagerly. "Yes, indeed. We've got some practicing to do before Saturday," Zay said as they made their way toward where volunteers were setting up equipment near the borrowed upright piano that had been transported from Marjorie's church basement for this occasion. As Zay helped lift the piano onto its designated spot on a small stage by the riverbank, he couldn't shake off an overwhelming sense of gratitude mixed with nervousness about performing again after so long. The last few days had been filled not only with preparations, but also new friendships formed through shared purpose, people rallying together for something bigger than themselves. The sun dipped lower in the sky as evening approached, casting golden rays over everything around them. With every passing hour leading up to rehearsal time, Zay felt more alive than he had in years, despite his aching hands reminding him constantly of their limitations. Once setup was complete for tonight's rehearsal, under dimming light from hanging lanterns strung across trees, lining the path leading down towards Riverfront Tower's lobby entrance, Zay caught sight of Evelyn arriving carrying sheet music. Under one arm, her hair tousled slightly by gentle winds playing tricks through nearby branches above them, while soft laughter echoed through gathered friends chatting animatedly. Nearby, still preparing decorations throughout areas surrounding where they'd soon gather together, celebrating life's simple joys ahead just like before. "Ready?" Zay called out when he spotted her, making her way closer towards him, now a warm smile lighting up both their faces, shining bright amidst twilight shadows, creeping softly into view, slowly merging into deeper hues, embracing dusk settling softly over everything, becoming nighttime yet again. "I am. Let's make some magic happen," Evelyn replied cheerfully as she set down her sheet music carefully onto an empty chair next to where Zay positioned himself beside piano bench, feeling excitement tingling within every inch of him, even those stiffened fingers. Struggling sometimes did not deter what lay waiting ahead for both individuals tonight underneath shining stars blossoming above. They would finally connect musically after many rehearsals-filled moments spent discovering one another through notes. danced freely across keys, creating beautiful harmonies shared between them both. Zay opened his score. It was time. With confidence growing steadily stronger deep inside himself, despite lingering doubts ever present, creeping ever so slightly behind closed doors, waiting just outside his reach. Hands shaking slightly less than usual, now reached out slowly, yet surely gripping tightly onto ivory keys beneath fingertips, resting comfortably upon polished surface. He let out sighs, easing tension built up from nerves, calming them, gradually dissipating into air, leaving space open, wide enough room available, welcoming inspiration, rushing forth, igniting everything alive again within heart, beating strong, resonating steady rhythm, pulsing faster, bringing life once more into existence. After long periods spent trapped beneath shadows, hiding silently away somewhere distant, lost, never knowing how find way back home, Evelyn settled beside him, gently folding pages open, revealing rich melodies, dancing vibrantly off every line, traced down neatly organized columns, aligning beautifully, forming crescendos, soaring upwards, reaching heights thought impossible. Just days prior, left feeling lighter, soaring above ground, finding footing upon solid ground, secured, firmly rooted, safe, held close within, trust built steadily over time, cherished moments, exchanged freely without hesitation. This was what they had fought hard against, losing their passion. Reignited, igniting spark, igniting flames, kindled brightly, flickering flames, burning fiercely, lighting dark corners, brightening paths once hidden, now revealed clearly, guiding souls safely homeward, heading towards destinations, unknown journeys unfolding step by step, shaping futures, dreamed dreams dared shared. Lovingly amongst families brought closer together, connecting hearts deeply intertwined like roots reaching far beyond visible layers. Buried underneath ground, yearning patiently, awaiting freedom, found resting place among those seeking solace together. Singing songs, harmony, resonating bright laughter, filling spaces void previously existed. Illuminating hope, spreading wide, encompassing warmth, blankets wrapped snug tightly, keeping cold away, even chillier nights, breathing fresh life deep inside, fueling passion, pushing forward stronger than fear, standing tall, unafraid, moving onward, breaking barriers, defying expectations, setting stages, transforming lives, positively impacting communities, strengthening bonds forged between unlikely friends, weaving stories, touching hearts everywhere, heard, carried forth, uplifting spirits, encouraging others, join, fight, ignited, sparked flames, reignited, momentous occasions, full potential, realized awakening, dormant desires hidden far beneath surface, ready, break free, emerge stronger, better capable, achieving greatness. Sought continuously. Ever since first starting down winding roads leading, ultimately arrive here today. Finally prepared, share gifts, talents, each person contributed, lending voices, giving rise, creations birthed collectively, rising, echoing. Sounds rolling, waves crashing shores, washing gently over hearts, mending wounds, healing pains, left long past, hurting quietly, fade away peacefully, journeying forward, renewed, inspired, nourished dreams, envisioned, taking flight, soaring upward. Reaching high heights, destined, created, intended, flourish, blossom, sweet fruits, sown generously, nurtured, lovingly throughout seasons, changing colors, shifting times, marked lives, changed forevermore. Brightened beauty realized. They began their practice together. Dance between pianist and vocalist intertwining harmoniously. Blending chords flowing effortlessly. Weaving seamlessly among melodies crafted precisely, perfectly crafted, working hand in hand. Layering textures, creating intricate tapestries, depicting vibrant images, portraying stories told, shared experiences sung aloud, connecting souls, hearts, mingling beautifully, united strength, drawn forth deeper, meaning threaded securely, fabric. Woven tighter knit fabric, sewn strong, sturdy enough, withstand storms, weathered battle, fought overcoming odds, faced standing strong, enduring hardships, now facing head-on boldly, transforming future-filled promise, greater potential held. Tightly near, longing gaze cast wide open, embracing possibilities yet unseen, remaining steadfast, hopeful, brighter days lie ahead. If only continued fighting perseverance remained unwavering, undeterred, believing wholeheartedly everyone deserved. Chance shine bright, finally realizing worth. Never faltering, spirit, forging pathways, lighting skies, illuminating paths, paving ways leading towards greatness. Worthy achieved countless victories, celebrated. The day of the People's Gala arrived, and Riverfront Park was transformed into a vibrant tapestry of sights and sounds. Brightly colored banners fluttered in the gentle breeze, each one a reminder of the community's spirit. Laughter mingled with music as families and friends gathered for a night of celebration, hope, and unity. Evelyn stood at the entrance of the park, her heart racing with excitement. She wore a flowing emerald dress that caught the light just right, making her feel lighter than air. As guests arrived, she greeted each one with a warm smile, shaking hands and exchanging cheerful words. "Welcome! Thank you for coming!" she exclaimed to an older couple who looked both surprised and delighted. "Isn't this beautiful?" the woman said, her eyes shining as she took in the scene. "It truly is," Evelyn replied, her heart swelling with pride. "We're all here together to celebrate what matters most." Nearby, children dashed around, their laughter ringing out like music notes scattered on the wind. Food stalls lined one side of the park, offering everything from homemade pies to savory stews. The aroma wafted through the air like an inviting hug, drawing people closer. As Evelyn turned to check on Zay and Joy, she spotted them near a colorful booth selling cotton candy. Joy twirled in her bright pink dress, arms spread wide like wings as she spun around in circles. Zay watched with a gentle smile on his face, his heart warmed by her joy. He couldn't help but chuckle at her playful antics. It reminded him of when he would watch his own daughter dance around as a little girl. "Joy, don't get dizzy," he called out teasingly. "I won't!" she shouted back confidently before launching into another twirl. Zay's heart filled with love as he watched Joy laugh freely, embodying pure happiness without any worries clouding her mind. In that moment, he felt grateful for this chance to be part of something bigger than himself and to share it with his granddaughter. Evelyn joined them just as Joy stopped spinning and fell into Zay's arms, giggling uncontrollably.
"Grandpa, I think I'm going to fly,"
she exclaimed breathlessly. "You've got some pretty strong wings there," Zay replied with a wink before planting a soft kiss on her forehead. "Hey, have you both tried the food yet?" Evelyn asked eagerly. "No, not yet," Joy squeaked excitedly as her eyes darted toward the stalls filled with colorful treats. "Can we go?" "Of course. Let's see what delicious things we can find." Zay agreed as they walked together toward the nearest booth selling warm cornbread muffins and steaming chili. The trio made their way through throngs of happy faces. The local choir sang sweet harmonies nearby, while people clapped along in rhythm mix of gospel classics woven with cheerful pop songs that echoed across the park. It felt like everyone was caught up in this shared celebration, a joyful symphony playing just for them. As they approached another stall where volunteers were serving fresh lemonade, Evelyn noticed Marjorie bustling about nearby, greeting guests and ensuring everything ran smoothly. She waved at Marjorie, who responded with an enthusiastic grin before returning to assist another group at the booth, where they served fluffy pancakes topped with syrup and fruit. "Everything looks amazing," Evelyn remarked proudly to Zay while handing Joy a cup filled to the brim with ice-cold lemonade. "It really does," Zay replied warmly while taking in all the laughter surrounding them. The community coming together under shared hopes and, perhaps, shared healing, too. Joy sipped happily from her cup, while pointing out friends from school who had come along with their parents for the festivities. Each familiar face brought another burst of joy that echoed throughout the crowd, a reminder that they were not alone in this moment, but part of something bigger than themselves. After filling their bellies with delicious food, Zay felt a sudden rush of energy flood through him. He knew it was time for him to take center stage soon. Enough time for his moment to shine alongside Evelyn and lift their spirits higher through music. "Are you ready for your big performance?" Evelyn asked gently as they wandered closer toward where volunteers were setting up chairs for guests awaiting music beneath glowing lanterns strung above them like stars in twilight skies. Zay nodded slowly, but could feel tension knotting itself tightly within him, old fear rising up once more. What if he didn't play well? What if his fingers wouldn't cooperate? Yet seeing Joy bounce beside him, reminded him why he had chosen this path. It was about more than himself, no. It was about family, about community, about hope, and no amount of self-doubt could overshadow that truth anymore. As evening settled over Riverfront Park, like a warm embrace wrapped around each person, present golden rays casting long shadows beneath tree branches, the choir prepared themselves near stage lights flickering softly against twilight sky. Hues blending into shades darker than navy blue overhead, a magical setting awaited them all. Evelyn glanced back at Zay again just before stepping away briefly.
I'll be right over there cheering you on,
she said firmly yet kindly, pointing toward an area designated specifically for friends seated near performers' platforms during shows so they could support loved ones proudly among crowds gathering closer, now excitedly awaiting musical magic unfolding soon. I'll give it my best shot, he assured quietly before shifting focus back toward preparations unfolding ahead. His heartbeat synchronized steadily alongside gentle melodies drifting through air, filling hearts, longing desperately, yearning, uniting voices, celebrating life itself. All good things worth fighting for together, standing shoulder to shoulder. As people settled down onto chairs or gathered close by, near open space, allowing room left, available amid excited conversations, continuing flowing seamlessly from every corner as if one endless current carrying everyone forward eagerly toward performance ahead. Joy found herself flitting around, checking out more fun activities available nearby while remaining safely within sight range, just off stage, waiting patiently until it was time. Moments passed slowly, yet thrillingly. Eyes sparkling brightly, reflecting inner hopes, transforming those dreams tangible life right here amongst them all tonight. Just then, without warning, the sun dipped completely below horizon, casting colors deepening rich purples, oranges blended together brilliantly, painting picturesque canvas, capturing hearts, full emotions swirling overhead, filling atmosphere. A live spirit resonating high energies, buzzing vibrantly surrounding every person gathered here, feeling alive vibrantly too. Finally, after a few minutes lost, waiting anticipation, mixed nerves inside, building excitement among crowds assembled. Choir began singing sweet melodies, drawing everyone nearer, instinctively magnetizing souls drawn forth wanting experience. Beauty happening firsthand. Uplifting spirits shared reverently between singers, musicians, performers engaging, audience directly inviting, participation, sparking, unifying, joy, transforming festival. Spirit alive, pulsating throughout gathering crowd, hungry love, laughter, connecting generations across age, divides binding past, present, future indelibly. Marked forever memories etched strongly within minds. Hearts joined unbreakable bonds, forged friendships lasting lifetimes. Evelyn found herself enchanted, listening closely, watching movement unfold. Unfolding life journey traveled many years, winding paths, intersecting unexpectedly, right here, right now, revealing strength, resilience, compassion, echoing songs, weaving stories tied deeply. Individual journeys converging, creating collective power. Only community can foster. Even amidst adversity, challenging faces, difficult struggles overcome. Overcoming obstacles despite barriers faced relentless. Marching forward, determined step beyond, reach dreams promised brightening, futures brighter tomorrow, promising possibility. Flourishing, growing, budding forth, beautifully intertwined tapestry, human experience shared unfolding among diverse, colorful patterns, intricately woven united purpose, harmony, kindling, warmth, nurturing souls, embracing moments created together, shaping legacies, lasting generations beyond, lifetime alone enriching lives deeply touched, felt simply expressed. Sweet melodies wafting through cool night air, whispering tales told songs, echoing timeless truths, beckoning others, join along, extending arms wide, welcome invitation, transform community, forging bonds, unforgettable memories, lasting beyond. Tonight, becoming part heritage carried forth journeys continued onward. Wherever paths may lead next into unknown horizons, shining bright guiding lights, steadfast illuminating roads ahead traversed countless times, renewed journeys begun. Anew accompanied. Kindness, unwavering, love, cherished dearly, bringing smiles, shining faces, joining hands, voices rising, collectively resonate. harmony, joyous triumphs, celebrating life itself resonated throughout entire crowd, echo endlessly. Linger. Long after last note played. Fading, gently, memory treasured, evermore engraved, hearts bound tight, lovingly wrapped, enduring embrace, each soul drawn together, transcending differences, finding common ground, discovering unity, uplifting. Humanity precious thread, connects sharing, existence, sacred journey, embraced, lovingly, acknowledged, celebrated, wholeheartedly intertwined destinies, ultimately remembered forever written history, cherished, always close hearts, transcending. Boundaries imagining brighter futures. Await, welcoming new dawn, hopeful dreams, rekindled passions, reignited, stirring within awakened potential, ignited vibrant flames burning brightly, guide onward, empowering rise, stand strong, united purpose. Soaring, ever higher, reaching new heights, never thought possible. Lighting way, ever brightening, road leading forward always towards peace, harmony, joy, everlasting sound. Unfurling stories told voice, rising, reaching soaring heights, lifted light, carried far above. Even clouds lifting, bringing dreams manifested, forming tangible connections. Formed each other held dear, clasped tightly warm embraces, enveloped every soul. Gathered heartfelt reunion, safe sanctuary comfort. Reassurance, born love, radiating light, shone bright, illuminating darkest nights. Guiding home, found faith, reignited inspiration, breathed fresh air, restored relationships, nourished deeper understanding, deeper connections emerged, forged. Flames, compassion, never die nor fade. Quickened spirits rise, brought flame flicker embers, ignited powerful testament, resilience, beauty, hope, triumphant expressions, loving hearts, brave souls shining brightly long after silence settled gently down upon closing curtains, perhaps eternally illuminating pathways, future, brighter, brighter than imagined, once illuminated, eternally embraced compassion, true courage emanates true freedom, passion fought hard given chances, shared boundless. Possibilities gifted richly flowing, blessed forever entwined, woven lives touched, changed, because simple act choosing believe others rise, above circumstances, faith embedded promises, echo, timeless, inspired, uplifted, remember, care, cherish. Dream continue, strive, grow, develop, create deeper meaning, forge paths, weaving intricate stories, dance beautifully, celebrating beautiful mosaic, vibrant, thriving, live every day, explore, seek, find warmth, wonder, renewed faith, soar, grace, grace. Gracefully resonate, light shine, remind, illuminate, radiate, shared love, heard everywhere within reach, reminding hearers kind, embrace, envelop peace, carrying echoes forever, treasured true blessings given freely embraced, honored, extended. Generosity towards giving, graciously sharing, kindly fulfilling needs, hope reflected wondrous moments, emerging blossom promise, gifted journeys cultivated among kin thriving, continues onward, leading, inspiring every single beat, pulses, rhythm, heartbeat spoken gratitude aloud, carrying voices, rising spirited song we sing tonight. Amidst those vivid images, brimming hope, swirling vivid joys, coursing life, refreshing, embraced essence, profound timeless, universal connection. Witnessed miraculous magic woven moments, capturing splendid enchantment, nestled soul, stirred bliss. Eternal echoes, wrapping, warmth, companionship drawn, seeking sense, belonging felt everywhere, intertwined, beautifully embracing humanity. Compassionate bridge, shared compassion, mirrored reverberating light, reflecting generous waves, affection. Weaving communal tapestry, resplendent wonderment, embracing fleeting essence. Unforgettable celebration, birthed relationships, rediscovered futures, realigned, harmonizing voices, harmonized breathing, rhythmically danced alive, encapsulating. Sweetness resonates lives, touched through melodies, intertwining gracefully. Sculpted wonders, usher uplifting journeys. Flourished, nurtured, enveloped. Blessing. Priceless gifts. Honoring present offering tomorrow. Spreading seeds, abundance grow. Planted, nurture, flourishing gardens, relationships, roots, anchored ground, secure, thrive, radiate, loving, embrace, nurtured, nourish, cared, beautiful bloom. Just then, amongst dazzling beauty appearing amidst myriad smiling faces, familiar silhouette emerged. Reuben appeared slightly detached, arms crossed against chest-scanning crowd, quietly observing everything unfolding, witnessing joyous event, spectacle knit, passionately, hearts collectively thrumming vibrant exuberance, dancing alive, front sight directly, penetrating gaze, lingering, unsettled, looking keenly searching, not knowing fully witnessed, still struck astonished, speechless, extraordinary transformation, sparked, opportunity, evolved, captured moment, expansive unfolding wonderment, clear brightness illuminated somewhere deep shadow, linger traces, hidden doubt, buried discomfort, throbbing silently strained. Posture emphasized internal conflict, swirling uncertainty, fueled inquiry, pondering ever-challenging perceptions, confronting self-questioning lines, drawn preordained societal norms, established hierarchies existed, maintaining invisible barriers threatening fracture, inherent trust built upon respect, seen mutual admiration, shown admiration, shared heartfelt narratives, offered captivating connections, transformed unified narratives, birthed unexpected miracles, strengthened resilience, highlighted openness, lending credibility, sincere authenticity, revealing beauty, ignited passion arise, boldly proclaim values, enriched legacy, imprinted culture, instilling reverence, imbued potential, harnessed energy, rippling, expanding outward, shining bright glimmer lit horizon, invite passage, endless opportunities revealed beckoning, possibility, holding promise, adventure awaited beyond horizons, beckoning trails, illuminated ventures, traverse chosen paths, new directions discovered extraordinary delight, uncovered following footprints, woven shaped journeys, traveled, propelled courage, fueled desire, fulfill, inspire longings, awakened bold steps, traversed revealed possibilities, stretch infinitely wide, extend limitlessly beyond sight, sparking curiosity, driven purposeful quests, invigorating journeys, embarked laden aspirations, harvested threads, interwoven destinies, entwined resonated deeper whispers, followed far-reaching ambitions, blazing trail, paving golden pathways, threading luminescent skies sewn tightly around life, knitted fabric brighter ever seen, traced trails across majestic canvases, waiting discovery, celebrate blossoming remembrance emerge. Resilient, strong. Zay's fingers danced over the keys, the notes flowing like a river through the warm air. As he played, he felt a deep connection with the music. It was as if every note was a whisper from his mother, guiding him, reminding him that music had the power to heal and inspire. The choir joined in, their voices blending with the piano in a rich tapestry of sound. The harmony lifted everyone's spirits, filling the space with warmth and hope. Evelyn glanced at Zay, her heart swelling with pride. This was more than just a performance. It was a moment of triumph for both of them. As they transitioned into "It Is Well With My Soul," Zay could feel the energy shift in the room. The audience swayed gently, some wiping away tears while others beamed with joy. Each person present felt part of something bigger, a community, coming together to support one another. The first few lines echoed beautifully, soaring high and touching hearts. As they sang about peace amid storms, donations began to roll in through the online platform set up for the gala. Evelyn's assistant stood off to the side, tracking each pledge as it came in. 500 from Mr. Adams, she called out excitedly. 2,000 from Mrs. Garcia. Another cheer erupted from the crowd. Zay's heart raced as he played on, fueled by the generosity surrounding them. He glanced at Evelyn, who caught his eye and smiled brightly. The encouragement between them made his hands feel lighter despite their pain. With each new pledge announced, more people reached into their pockets or pulled out their phones to donate. They were inspired not just by Zay's music, but by what it represented: a chance for change and renewal. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out over the crowd. "And I'll match whatever you raise tonight." Everyone turned toward Reuben Patel, standing stiffly at the back of the room with his arms crossed tightly over his chest. His face bore an expression of disbelief mixed with irritation as he processed what was happening before him. The retired CEO, Mr. Thompson, had stepped forward into view of everyone gathered under those twinkling lanterns by the riverbank. His silver hair gleamed under the soft light as he continued to speak passionately about community spirit and giving back. "I believe in this project," he said loudly enough for all to hear. "I've seen firsthand how art can uplift lives, and I want my company's legacy to reflect that." Evelyn felt her heart lift higher than ever before as Mr. Thompson announced his matching fund pledgee a significant amount that could double whatever money had already been raised through donations tonight. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause. Laughter mixed with joy filled every corner of the space as people exchanged glances full of excitement, their small contributions suddenly transformed into something monumental. Reuben stood frozen for a moment, disbelief etched across his features. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't how things were meant to go. He hadn't prepared for such overwhelming community support or compassion in this moment. It rattled him deeply. Zay felt empowered by their energy, the waves of hope washing over him like music spilling from each key pressed beneath his fingertips. It drove him forward as he seamlessly melded Rachmaninoff's thunderous notes with heartfelt gospel undertones, building upon one another until they reached new heights together. Evelyn glanced at Zay again, her eyes sparkling bright. She knew they were creating something remarkable together. More than just melodies or songs, they were stitching lives back together through love and art. 10,000 pledged anonymously, Evelyn's assistant shouted, amid all excitement, more pledges coming in faster than anyone could keep track. Tears pricked Zay's eyes now. This was too much happiness all at once. Every sound that erupted around him felt like magic, realizing that even after loss or struggle, hope always finds its way back into our lives if we let it shine through those around us. With newfound strength radiating within him now, their hearts united through rhythm, they pushed onward deeper into melody, while welcoming laughter bubbling up around them all against life's harsh realities threatening them beforehand. But not anymore, not tonight. Finally, transitioning back into Rachmaninoff for an epic finish, the crescendo grew larger until it became an unstoppable wave crashing upon shores, inviting everyone present to sing along loud enough so even stars above would join this chorus, celebrating love reborn among communities once forgotten. Just then, Joy appeared at Zay's side without warning, a whirlwind dressed in bright colors, her tiny arms wrapping tightly around his waist as she beamed up at him proudly. "You did it, Grandpa!" she exclaimed cheerfully, full of youthful enthusiasm radiating pure joy from within her heart. In that single instant, as they shared warmth amidst applause, echoing all around, the weight upon Zay's shoulders seemed lighter somehow. He turned towards Evelyn, next finding solace there too, when meeting her gaze filled only with relief mixed gently alongside pride, shining bright throughout each feature on her face now too. Then everything came together like pieces fitting perfectly inside place. Every hardship faced leading toward moments like these where love met resilience and transformed lives forevermore. As applause settled down gradually among those gathered here beneath glowing lanterns, the kind-heartedness surrounding Zay seeped deeply into soul-filling gaps left empty too long. Evelyn rushed forward, enveloping both Joy and Zay within an embrace. Laughter, spilling forth amidst tears, streaming down cheeks across generations, interwoven throughout history, bound tightly through shared experiences built upon respect, garnered mutually from past pains, shared alike. "Thank you," she whispered softly against their shoulders, feeling grateful beyond measure not only for support received tonight, but also finding faith rekindled within herself, seeing beauty returning amidst struggle faced head-on. Together they stood strong, knowing whatever lay ahead would come forth, not merely guided by individual strength alone, but collective force, pushing forward, fueled by courage born anew. For one fleeting moment all burdens felt lessened amidst music celebrating triumph over adversity, bringing forth transformation yet unseen, rooted firmly inside hearts, beating stronger side by side, striving toward brighter tomorrows awaiting ahead, ready embracing challenges, facing life, moving forward, unyielding against odds, stacked against them previous law, resting firmly now beneath stars above, filled endlessly illuminated paths leading onward, everlastingly onward. Zay felt the warmth of the sun as it streamed through the stained glass windows of the church hall. The colorful panes transformed the light into a soft kaleidoscope, casting vibrant patterns on the wooden floor. It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and everything felt just right. The choir was warming up in the corner, their voices blending together like a gentle river flow. There was a buzz of excitement in the air, anticipation humming just below the surface. Joy stood near the piano, her eyes sparkling as she clapped along to the rhythm of her friends who were singing. She loved music and was eager to be part of something so joyful. Zay couldn't help but smile at her enthusiasm. She was a bright light in his life, filling every moment with laughter and hope. Evelyn arrived just then, her presence commanding yet warm. She wore a simple dress today, a far cry from her usual business attire, but it suited her well. Zay noticed how she carried herself with grace as she made her way to him at the piano. "Are you ready for this?" Evelyn asked with a hint of nervousness in her voice. She sat beside Zay on the bench, their shoulders almost touching. "I've been ready my whole life," he replied with a playful wink, trying to ease any tension between them. "We'll make beautiful music together." Evelyn nodded, though he could see her fingers twitching slightly. Her nerves were evident even if she tried to mask them with confidence. Zay understood that feeling well. He had often wrestled with stage fright during his younger days when he played in church. The choir began practicing their warm-up exercises, harmonizing beautifully as they prepared for their part in today's event. Their voices filled every corner of the room like sweet honey, rich and soothing. "Let's start our duet," Zay suggested gently. He reached for the keys, positioning his hands over them like a conductor preparing for an orchestra. Evelyn took a deep breath and placed her fingers alongside his on the piano. "All right," she said quietly, almost as if making a pact with herself. They started playing Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor together, a piece that had brought them closer over these past weeks. The music flowed from their fingertips like water rushing over smooth stones. It was both powerful and delicate all at once. As they played, Zay could feel his heart swell with each note they struck together. There was something magical about sharing this moment, two people from different worlds coming together through music. Evelyn's expression shifted from apprehension to concentration as she settled into the rhythm of their performance. Zay marveled at how effortlessly they connected. Each movement felt natural and fluid between them, as if they had been playing together for years instead of just weeks. He glanced sideways at her. Her eyes sparkled with determination as she lost herself in the music, the tension melting away like snow under spring sunlight. They were both so focused that nothing else seemed to matter, not even the world outside this church hall filled with lanterns and laughter. In that moment, Zay realized how much he admired Evelyn, not just for her talent, but also for her courage to step out of her comfort zone and embrace something so vulnerable as music shared between two souls. With each passing measure, they reached deeper into themselves, drawing forth memories of childhood dreams and unspoken hopes, each chord reverberating within their hearts like an echo from long ago. As they neared the climax of their performance, Zay's hand brushed against Evelyn's ever so slightly, a gentle reminder that they were indeed sharing this journey side by side. "Together," he whispered softly as they reached that crucial point where harmony intertwined beautifully, a perfect blend of melody rising higher and higher until it enveloped them completely. Evelyn nodded without words. She understood what he meant. In this very moment, playing side by side, they weren't just two individuals anymore. They were united through passion and purpose, like roots connecting beneath earth to form something strong above ground. The final chord loomed ahead, a powerful culmination that would bring everything crashing down in an explosion of sound, or lift them up into serenity's embrace. It depended entirely on how well they played it together. They exchanged glances filled with trust before launching into one last surge of their fingers, flying across keys deftly until at last the chord rang out clear. It resonated through every nook and cranny within those walls, the sound soaring above all else like birds taking flight against azure skies. For an instant time stood still as people paused mid-conversation, eyes widening in surprise, faces turning toward where Zay and Evelyn sat, poised at their makeshift stage, the magic swirling around them like confetti tossed upon jubilant air. Then came applause. Thunderous claps echoed throughout halls, alive with energy shouts, filled corners, drenched sunlight streaming through stained glasses. Joy squealed delightfully nearby, her voice mixing seamlessly among cheers, reverberating off painted walls around them. Zay turned toward Evelyn, who wore an expression brighter than sunlight itself, joy radiating outward from within. They shared a grin, knowing all too well what this moment meant, not only for themselves, but also for everyone. Present here to date, it wasn't just about music anymore. It became something greater. Community binding hearts, together through shared experiences, forged over time spent learning one another's stories. As laughter danced around them, along mingling sounds merging beautifully into celebration, the atmosphere charged electric with excitement bubbling over it. Felt impossible not to get swept away amid happiness woven tightly throughout each soul gathered here today. Joy rushed forward, nearly bouncing off walls, filled lively, spirit everywhere surrounding them, urging others join hands within this joyful whirlpool, while snacks beckoned invitingly, waiting eagerly atop tables, laden delicious offerings, freshly prepared by caring hands whose love poured generously into every dish presented, before eager diners' ready feast ahead. Evelyn took another deep breath, letting moments settle fully, inside filling spaces where uncertainty lingered moments before slowly melting away, leaving room pure bliss permeating every fiber, body, soul alike, enriching lives nourished. Simultaneously, hearts thriving, nourished, continuously, strengthened, growing, deeper roots, planted firmly, grounded, flourishing, amidst beauty, love shared freely, connecting threads woven tightly, holding firm even when times seemed challenging. Dark clouds, looming overhead, threatening cast shadows across brighter horizons, awaiting discovery, hidden gems, buried deep underneath surface, waiting patiently emerge, reveal themselves unfurling joyfully, once more. With lanterns swinging gently outside, illuminating paths leading onward toward new adventures waited beyond those doors, opening wide, ready welcome anyone willing step forth, venture forward, leaving behind old burdens, learned lessons, carried weight, heavy hearts finding solace, knowing love, friendship, grace, guiding way, lighting pathways, opening wide, stretching infinitely. Vast horizons yet unseen lay hidden underneath. Layers, fears, doubts peeled back, revealed brightness. Gleaming hope, holding firm, anchored securely, foundations built resilient, unwavering spirit. Gathered here today, uniting individuals, bonds stronger than mere flesh, blood ever could create, merely kindred spirits traveling parallel roads. Destined intertwine across vast distances. Apart, joined unity, friendship, faith, bringing strength, courage, bear witness. Growth, experienced, thriving beyond imagination, unfolding miracle, tiny acts, kindness, kindness magnified extraordinary. Proportions lifting souls higher, encouraging, dreaming, bigger, reaching further, encompassing collective power, uniting everyone, witnessing, unfolding beauty, life itself. As if sensing culmination, journey nearing its zenith, celebration thrumming around them, swaying bodies, echoing laughter, spilling warmth, filling hearts, overflowing sharing, joy, connecting invisible threads, weaving tapestry, life interwoven. Colorful patches embroidered intricately, dancing, spiraling upward, lifting spirits, transcending boundaries, joining hands, creating ripple effects, sending waves, joy reverberating, countless hearts, stirred, inspired, wanting contribute somehow. Make difference, small ways, giving generously, investing time, effort, attention, nurturing relationships, built empathy, understanding kindness, respect, drawing closer humanity, discovering depth, connection, essential, reminding everyone's sacred truths revealed. Discover limitless potential exists inside, capable unlocking, incredible strength, courage, cultivating harmony, forging deeper relationships, rooted mutual respect, appreciation, accepting imperfections, embracing differences. Celebrating unique gifts each person brings forth collectively, creating safe space, flourish, thrive, nurtured, compassion, camaraderie formed unbreakable bonds, steadfast enduring storms thrown faces, individuals gathered still remain standing, tall shoulder shoulder traversing, trials tested, determined push, boundaries evolve, becoming truest selves, embodied by echoes, laughter ringing, clear-cutting, straight path adversity, hurdles standing boldly, united arm lifting everyone up, inspiring, pushing limits, heights achieved, never dreamed possible. The final chord rang out once more, resonating through room-infused unity, celebration, vibrancy, affirming, commitment, truth, holding firm, community forever intertwined, forever bound, unconditional love, faith woven deeply, connection lasting, cherished memories, engraved hearts, etched forever, immortalized journey embarked upon unforgettable, indelible mark left behind, echoed song, sung rejoicing. Life, weaving dreams, aspirations, weaving destiny, brightening future, awaiting everyone. Daring reach toward brighter. Tomorrow, yearning. Embrace joy. Embraced life. Unwavering resilience. Illuminated brightly. Calling shine brighter day by day building. Legacy profound, beautiful, magnificent tapestry emerges. Thriving. Existence celebrates. Honoring essence. Spirit captures entire universe, awakening dreamers, keep alive, flame ignited forever, burning brightly, glowing eternally, casting light path, illumination, revealing hope, dancing graciously evermore. What would you do if you were in their place? Comment your answer below and let's see how you'd rewrite the ending. If you thought this was just the beginning, you're right. Click through and see where the story takes you next. If you enjoyed the story of Isaiah Zay Carver, I handpicked the next story that you will enjoy. Please don't miss this one. Click here to watch it.